welcome to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, and let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. And first for the visiting Minnesota Moose, starting tonight in goal, there he is, Dwayne Dirksen, who will start in goal tonight. And let's see, looking up front defensively, it'll be Brad Miller and Chris Hines. Starting up front, it'll be the line of Todd Hawkins, Sean Williams, and Stefan Morin. The head coach is Frank Serratori, of course, used to coach in the college ranks for the University of Denver. For the Houston Aeros, in goal, it'll be Troy Gamble, making his first start in 3 games. He sat out the last 3 because Rob Dobson was the hot goaltender. Defensively, it'll be Curtis Hunt and Kevin Grant at center. Mark Freer will be out there with Scott Arniel on the left side, Mario Chitteroni on the right wing. And, of course, the head coach of the Houston Aeros, Terry Ruskowski. And the Aeros, who had an outstanding weekend, Barry, I felt going 2-1, and I know Terry was a little disappointed with the performance last night, but still, you look at it, 2-1 on the road. That's excellent.
As we said in the open, you'll take that all season long. Interesting that the captain is suiting up tonight and playing, because there was some thought on the plane ride coming back home that Curtis Hunt, who hurt his knee last night, may not be able to play, but he came down to the rink and said, put me in, get my sweater on, and he's out there along with Troy Gamble.
All right, we're set to go. The Aeros will defend the goal to our right. The Minnesota Moose, the goal to our left. And our referee tonight is Dennis LaRue. The linesmen are Randy Cox and Bob Williams. And now we have some kind of delay here, and I'm not exactly sure why, but Dennis LaRue is talking with Terry Ruskowski, the head coach of the Aeros, and Frank Serratori now looking over, wanting to know what's the problem.
I think I know what the problem may be. We're taking a look at the scorecard that came up, and initially it had Rob Dobson in goal. And what Frank Serratori may be saying is, I want Dobson to start this game in the pipes.
Yeah, and that was the thing. So I think Dauber may have to go out there. And we look down, and this will be the quickest line change you'll see in goaltender history, I think. They're grabbing him.
Troy Gamble comes off.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. So Gamble will officially not be the starter tonight, but it'll be one shift, get the puck out of play, and then they'll switch goalies, and that's what Frank Serratori wants to know. I think that's just an oversight, and Rob Dobson, a smile on his face, and he'll come out there. We were looking at it too because we knew that Gamble was going to start tonight, but our scorecard told us Rob Dobson.
Well, when I came to the rink tonight, came down to the Summit, I spoke with Robbie Dobson, and told him how I listened to the game, and you're a bad guy. You make me late for dinner. I got to sit outside restaurants, because I can't take a radio in. At least I can't take my car in there to listen to it. Exciting games on the road, and Dobby was just magnificent.
So Dobson will make his 4th start in as many games, but it'll be short-lived, I guarantee you that. Face-off will be between Freer and Morin, and I guess we're ready. Top of the block, and the Aeros win the draw. Here's Curtis Hunt at his own blue line. He'll turn it up the right side. Hunt now shoots it into Minnesota territory. Back to get it. It's Dirksen out of the net, clear to the line. Here's Hunt a drive. That goes wide. Rebound popped in behind the net. Now Freer's got it. He's wrapped up by Hines. Takes it far corner. Freer now. Loop it along for Mario Chitteroni, base of left circle. Hide it along the boards, but Morin is there, clear to the line, not out. Hunt a long shot, turn around, Dirksen, shot by Freer right on, and Dirksen there to make the save, and he'll hold on, and that'll be the end of Rob Dobson. He'll come to the bench, and then line change, Gamble will come out. So Gamble will come back in.
That has to be your first in your play-by-play history.
You're asking me to go back over a long time, but I can't recall it, no. And Terry Ruskowski's got a smile. He's going, geez, I need an assistant coach to help me with my defensive changes and my goaltender. Gee.
He still thinks he's on the road like you do.
All right, now Gamble will go in there. And here is Len Hackborn, Dave Tippett, Mike Yo with Oleg Shagarotsky and Carl Valamon. Drop of the block, Aeros win it, but Shagarotsky couldn't hold it in. It'll go all the way back down into Aero territory. Shagarotsky's got a hustle. He's watched by Danny Shank of the Moose. On near side, Mike Yo worked it up the left side, and here's Len Hackborn for the Houston Aeros. Pass up the left side for Yo. He's chopped by Hackstall, got by him, center to pass. That was worked away, and Hackstall takes over. He'll clear it out to center ice. In fact, that'll go up and out of play with 47 seconds gone here in this first period. Scoreless hockey game. Glad to have you with us tonight on the Aeros Broadcasting Network.
Chris Miller took a goal opportunity away from Mike Yo, the way that he just went down and got horizontal quickly and took the puck right in the shoulder. Carl Valamont, who recently signed his contract for the rest of the year, out with Oleg Shagarotsky on defense.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Dwayne Dirksen. Here is Hackborn again with Yo and Tippett. Shagarotsky and Valamont defensively. John Young now out there with Shank. Take the draw, drop the puck. Aeros win it. Here is Mike Yo in between the circles. Cuts back, top of the slot. Gave the puck away, and here they come 2-on-1. Shank right in on goal. Wait, shoots. Saved by Gamble. And here come the Aeros. Ooh, Mike Yo with a big turnover there, but luckily Gamble came up with a nice save. Puck goes back down into the Minnesota zone. Out of the net, Dirksen fired it along the boards. It came out in front. Corvo jumps on it. Now John Young comes to center ice. He's out there with Shank and Ivan Corvo. Young across the line, trying to move around Shagarovsky. Oleg stays with him. Now the puck center, but it's picked up by Yo. He'll get it out the center, and the Aeros come away 3-on-2. Shagarovsky, rink wide. Hackborn cuts in, centered for Tippett. That was pushed away by Hextall. Aeros come out flying here. The Moose will shoot the puck down. This will produce an icing call as Curtis Hunt goes back to touch. And we played a minute and a half here in this first period and no score.
You know, we talked at the start of the game about stamina. We've seen thus far that the Aeros have got fresh legs. They came out right now. Kerry said he was going to go with a lot of quick shift changes tonight, but for the first minute and a half of play, they've got very fresh legs.
Clayton Young now will center a line with Mike Maurice and Graham Townsend. Interesting story last night. Maurice was supposed to play, went out for warm-ups, but had a bad elbow. So he was a late scratch. Brian Pellerin was supposed to be a scratch, and he was told to play. Pellerin had a cheeseburger before the game, which is not your usual pregame meal, and he had that thing sitting in his gut, but actually played sparingly, but played effectively last night.
Chitteroni did his normal pregame deal. He hit the vending machine, ran down here at the summit, and got a candy bar.
But Maurice will be in there now. He'll take the draw against Dave Christian, and Christian wins it for the Moose. Now behind the net, here's Humanuk. Hasn't played all year. Finally comes out there, and he'll play it out to center ice. Scott Humanuk turning it center. Humanuk across the line for the Moose. Quick shot, and that went upstairs on Gamble. Hatchet him trying to center one in there. Curtis Hunt popped that away. Now Hunt into the corner. He's run into nicely with a solid check from Scott Sissons, and the puck comes to center ice. Moose have it at their own blue line. Here's Scott Humanuk now. Pass up the left side. That went through the skates of Sissons and back down into Aero territory. Here's Curtis Hunt now for the Aeros. He has 3 assists in his first 3 games since returning from the bad shoulder, and has to go back now. Here's Steve Jakes with 17:45 to go in the first. No score. Hunt cross-ice pass intercepted by Sissons, but it came out to center. Now Hines is the Moose trying to turn it up here a little bit. Gamble comes out of the net. And as good a jump as the Aeros have had here in this first period, it's been the Moose with the better scoring opportunities thus far. Here is a puck that's hoisted down by Jakes. No icing, is back to get it. Is Brad Miller. Turns the puck along. He hit the side of his net, and Dirksen had to cover up and hold on with 17:22 to go in this first period. No score.
With a goaltender like Dirksen, who started out at the University of Wisconsin, who hasn't played much, you've got to try to pepper him with shots. Don't give him an opportunity to get a rhythm. Conversely, on the other end, Troy Gamble looked a little uncharacteristic. He couldn't get his glove hand out there and couldn't really settle the puck down.
Dwayne Dirksen comes in with a record of 1-1-2 and a 4.02 goals against average, 86.5 on the save percentage. And here is Freer, Arniel, and Chitteroni with Valamont and Kevin Grant. Face off in the circle to the left side of Dwayne Dirksen. Aeros win the draw. Here's Grant, long shot right on, and a stick save made by Dirksen. Rebound comes out to the right side, and Hawkins. He'll turn it into Aero territory. Out of the net, Gamble will slow it. Give it to Kevin Grant. Roll it up Chitteroni right side, and the Aeros come to center. Here comes Mark Freer across the line. Nice move. He's in on goal. Shoots, Dirksen, save, rebound, and that's turned away. Kevin Grant now for the Aeros. Tucked it in behind for Freer. Now Chitteroni trying to bang one out of there. It goes into the far corner, and Sean Williams jumps on it for the Moose. Can't clear it. Checked by Arniel, far side. Here's Scott Arniel, fished it out. Get it up the boards. Kevin Grant trying to find Mark Freer. He steers it in the corner. Now it is Chitteroni going at it with Hawkins. It's picked up by Moran of the Moose. He'll hoist that to center and back into Aero territory. It's icing. If the puck can get over the line, it will. It'll be icing, and play is whistled down. We've played 3.5 here in the first. We'll take time out. No score on the Aeros Broadcasting Network.
It's time for friends to fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
And people are friendlier than ever. Just make reservations at least a day in advance and buy your round-trip ticket at Southwest's regular low unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you, free, anywhere we fly.
Joe, Dad, what do you think?
Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
What are you waiting for, Texas? Your Ford dealers have stocked up with new cars and trucks for the 95 sales drive. like the Taurus. America's best-selling car now has low 2.9% financing for up to 48 months. Choose the Sporty SE model and you can save over $3,000 in finance savings alone. Add that to your option package discount and you could save over $4,300. But it's only for a limited time, so hurry to your Texas Ford dealer.
16:35 to go in the first period. Face off to the left of Dirksen. And now here is a puck controlled by Chris Miller. He'll play it in behind the net. And the Aeros a moment ago had a great chance, but Dirksen went down and made a couple of marvelous saves. Here is Hackstall now. He'll turn it out to center ice. Hackborn to play. Hackborn, miscommunicated with Jakes, and that goes all the way back into Aero territory. And Sharnarotsky there to swing it along the near side for Yo. He can't clear. Hackstall held it in. Down the right side, Danny Shank bakes the right circle, centered it. It comes back to the left side. Chris Miller on defense. Had that poked away nicely by Tippett, but the puck not out. Here's Miller again into the slot. Turns it over for Shank, but can't come up with the puck. Jakes for the Aeros near side for Mike Yo. He'll send it out to center ice, and here comes Sharnarotsky. Galloping right side. Pass for Hackborn. Hits the line. Moves around Miller. Backhander stopped by Dirksen. Rebound in front, but it's picked up by Corvo and shot to center. No score in the hockey game, but now both teams starting to get some quality scoring opportunities, and I'm really surprised at the jump we've seen in this first period by both clubs, considering it's both 3 games in 3 nights, 4 and 5 for both hockey clubs. Puck at center ice. Here's Kevin Grant now for the Aeros across the line, trying to move it along. He's bumped off the puck by Miller, but stays with it. Far side. Grant centered it, but it came right to Blair Atchison into the Moose, and they move it out to center ice. Here come the Moose, left to right. Sissons hits the Aero blue line, but he had it popped away by Curtis Hunt. Has to go back to center. 15 minutes, 14 seconds to play in the first period. No score. Adam Gord along with Barry Warner. Humana for the Moose. Get it to Sissons. Hits the line. Galloping left side. Worked away by Kevin Grant. Stays with the puck though. Here is Sissons. Top of the slot. Still takes some whack from Grant. Backhands run into the corner, but Gamble came out. Feathered a pass to Kevin Grant. Trying to clear the pocket. Comes near side. Aeros trying to clear. It comes along the left wing, but Humana held it in at a right point for Minnesota. Now Scott Sissons facing the right circle. He's checked by Curtis Hunt. The Aeros pick it up. They'll clear it up for Townsend. Can they get it out of there? Barely. They will, but now it's Dave Christian up the right side. Christian retreating to his own blue line. Center ice pass. Humana. Tip it to Sissons. Nice play. Sissons left side. He's run into by Curtis Hunt. Aeros get the puck, but it's shot back to center, and the Moose will play it. Here is Larry Olam. Shoots the puck in Aero territory, but that's picked away by Freer. Up the right side, Chironi now pulls up with a long shot, a weak one though, that's stuck aside by Dirksen, and he'll hold on with 14:20 to go in the first period in a scoreless hockey game.
Any questions we may have had about the captain, Curtis Hunt, and his knee were dispelled. 3 big plays, a poke check, 2 solid checks along the board, and 1 on the far side, and getting the puck up ice. So it looks like that knee, which was tender, is okay.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Dwayne Dirksen, and here is Freer, Arniel, and Chitteroni with Valamont and Shargarodsky. This is the Moran line, the line we talked about. This is the volatile one. Moran, Williams, and Hawkins with Olam and Brad Miller. Top of the puck, and the Aeros win the draw, but it's swept away by Minnesota and out to center ice, and Shargarodsky will take over there. Backhand the puck into Minnesota territory, and back goes Larry Olam now. Olam on defense, takes a hit from Freer. Freer trying to work the puck free. He spun off it like nothing there. He tries to fire it away, and now he and Olam go at it. Freer gets sticks high, and Olam trying to fire back, gets a stick up on Freer. Play goes on. Here's a shot. Score! Scott Arniel! And it's a 1-0 hockey game, and now Freer and Olam go at it. Everybody jumping in. Arniel wants it, Olam too. And everybody getting into it. Now, Dirksen grabbing Chitteroni, and Troy Gamble has a look at things, and everybody locked up. Mark Freer, who's one of the more calmer guys on the ice, was a little upset with Larry Olam, and he went at it. But I'll tell you what, while everybody was watching that, including myself, it was Scott Arniel who made a nice play going in, beating Dwayne Dirksen, and the Aeros take a 1-0 lead.
I think Arniel may have heard my comments in the pregame opening, and I'll show that, Warner, as the play went on to the left side of the screen. All the fireworks going on, but Arniel gets the pass from the blue line and just turns, fakes, and does a super job. The way that he just deked there with the shoulders and forced the goalie out. He shifts the puck once, twice, 3 times, and as he is celebrating, then all the fireworks began. But his concentration there, once that puck came from the blue line, was excellent.
The key to that has got to be the room that he had. You know, Scott Arniel, he had all kinds of room, and I think a lot of that has to be to the fact that everybody was watching Freer, and if you look at that replay, you know, he's got so much room between the the circles, and I think everybody was preoccupied with Freer and Olam.
He just walked in. It looked like a couple of the players simply ready to go in and drop their gloves and start to duke it out. Plenty of open ice for him just to walk in and 4 fakes on that with the stick, and he lights it up.
2 minutes each for Freer and Olam. Did we have a goal scored? Oh, by the way, yes, we did. Scott Arniel. It's his 23rd point of the year, but the best is that it's his 7th at home. 15 goals for Scott Arniel. Everybody was so into the fight there. It's kind of been quiet here, but now everyone can realize, hey, we did get a goal. We're up 1-0.
I was just amazed at so much open ice that Scott Arniel had.
Face off at center ice. Hackborn and Tippett now with Valamont and Shargorodskis will go 4-on-4 on the coincidental minors to Freer and Olam. 13:57 remaining in this first period. Here's a puck now, controlled by Minnesota. John Young, right side, can't play it off a hop. Back goes Carl Valamont into his own zone, and he'll bring it out to center ice. Snap the pass up for Hackborn. Hackborn can't bring it through the check of Chris Miller and the Moose now. Coming up near side, John Young. Up right wing, Young stutters up the right side, watched by Tippett, and had to go off the skates of Tippett and back into Minnesota territory. Arniel's 15th goal of the year, and it's a 1-0 hockey game. Valamont and Chitteroni got the assists on that. Here is Hackstall now in his own zone. Dave Hackstall from left to right. Shoots the puck left side. Chris Miller trying to move around. Valamont is stuck down. Now John Young left side centered for Shake. And he can't get Lumber on the pass. Right side Hackstall. Tapped in there by Shargorodski. They go skate to skate in the corner, but Valamont's got it. For Lenny Hackborn. Pass up the right side for Mike Maurice. Here he comes. Maurice now across the line with a man to beat Miller. Maurice turns with a shot. Flipped it wide of the net. Rebound. Breaks a weird hop in front. And it's clear to the line. Not out. Oh, Dirksen. Not sure where that puck was coming from, and when it came squarely off the end boards, it went right out in front, but nobody in a white sweater to jump on it for Houston. Now the Moose have got it. Dave Hackstall in behind the net. Hackstall turns it up right side for Stefan Moran. Center ice. Moran backhands a pass left side. Chris Miller cuts in with a long shot. Gamble to save, and he'll hold on. 12:35 to go in the first period. 1-0 the Aeros lead, and we'll have more IHL action from the Summit after this.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Get the lottery tickets. Get the lottery tickets. Everyone's all excited about playing the new scratch game from the Texas Lottery. So guess where I'm headed? What happened to giving someone a bathrobe or a pair of fluffy slippers? I could use some fluffy slippers. My feet are killing me.
With 4 new tickets and a chance at $25,000, everyone's playing Holiday Game from the Texas Lottery.
Let me have a couple of million holiday game tickets and, oh yeah, throw in one of those beef jerkies.
12:35 left in the first period. 1-0 the Aeros lead it. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner.
Minnesota 1-8-2 after giving up the game's first goal, and this kid will shaky in nets. If the Aeros can get a quick one on here, it could be a 6 or 7 goal night.
Yeah, the Minnesota Moose really hurting without Frank Pietrangelo. We can talk more about that later as it's Scott Humanick now for Minnesota. Passed into the near side for Sean Williams. Tossed it into the corner, and Steve Goslin overskated the puck. Now in there, Stefan Moran. Worked on by Goslin. Trying to flip it along the boards. It came down low. Here is Sean Williams. Wrapped up by Hunt. Shakes the check, then went down. Still with a puck, though. Now here is Scott Humanick, left side. Here's Humanick, walks in, shoots. Gamble, I think, got a pad on that. Now it is Moran. Oh, misplayed it, and it comes all the way down the ice. We're still 4-on-4 for another 10 seconds with the Moose back in their own zone. Dean Tolstad now will play the puck right side to the right of Dwayne Dirksen. Forecheck by Chitteroni. Good job. Mario trying to pop it away. Doing a fine job of hustle there. Now the Moose near side. Here is Blair Action. Streaking right wing boards. Came to the line, not out. Humanick pumps it out to center. Now Arniel with the only goal of the game so far. Arniel for the Houston Aeros. Left side. Turns it into the zone, but that's intercepted. Humanick. Pass goes to center, and Shargorodski is there. Oleg popped it ahead for Chitteroni. Now the Aeros have a 3-on-2. Jakes to Freer. Here's Mark Freer into the slot. Shoots with it wide of the net. Rebound. Topped in front. And Arniel can't pull the trigger. Now he's got a chance with a drive. And that pop popped away and deflected by Dave Christian of the Moose, and Actionham able to clear it out to center ice. Here is Shagaransky back in his own zone. Forecheck by Sissons. Pass to center for Freer. Freer now will turn it into Minnesota territory, but there is Brad Miller for the Moose. Left to right he'll come. Shot the puck in Aero territory. Out of the net Gamble. Bobbled it a bit, but got it over to Jakes. We've played 9 minutes of the first period. 1-0. The Aeros lead it. Dave Tippett spins a pass to center ice, but there's Miller again. Brad Miller for the Moose. They shoot it in Aero territory. Shagaransky now moves it right to left. Oleg Shagaransky. Get it to Jakes. Center ice, Len Hackborn. Circled back to his own zone. Still with a puck. Give it to Mike Yeo. Here is Yeo. Shoots it into Moose territory. Out of the net. Dirksen spins a pass, but Yeo able to dig it out. Here's Mike Yeo left side for Dave Tippett now. Tippett gives to Hackborn. Base of the left circle. Hackborn center. Here is the shot by Valamon, and Dirksen down to stack the pads, and it's blocked in out to center. Kevin Grant now shoots the puck into Minnesota territory. Aeros have really turned it up here in this first period and showing some incredible jump. Now Tippett centers one. Yo with a drive. Whistle line of the net. Rebound comes back. Base of the left circle. It's shot to the line, and it's out to center ice. Here is Danny Shank now. Right side. Carl Valamont tipped it away. Now go back in his own zone. He'll clear it right back to center. Here's Dave Hackstall now for Minnesota with 10 minutes to play in this first period. 1-0. The Aeros lead it. Here's a puck. Aero territory. Shank. Roll it down. Here is John Young trying to center one. That's popped away. Hackborn jumps on the loose puck, and he'll move to center. Hackborn rink-wide pass and broke it up by Miller. Here's Chris Miller at center. Shoots the puck behind Hunt, and a stick save made by Gamble. And now it's Curtis Hunt. He'll run to center ice. Curtis Hunt up right side. Hits the line. Pulls up at a point. Trying to roll it down for Young. It goes back in behind the net. Dirksen came out and he fired it right to Maurice, who cuts in. Can't pull the trigger. No, he does. Oh, Dirksen got a stick on that. Dirksen really struggling in the pipes here. Doesn't look very confident at all. He's given away a couple of great opportunities in front. Now Jake shoots it into Minnesota territory. Dirksen out of the net. He'll slow it for Chris Miller. Miller behind his cage. Moves it up the left side. Pass to Moran at center. He's run out of there by Curtis Hunt. Aeros trying to advance the puck, and here is Clayton Young. Young across the line. Makes the move, but he lost the puck to Humanup. And the Moose will shoot that high in the air. Heads up. That's a souvenir, and a fan makes a fine catch, and he'll be picked up by the Oilers for their secondary next week, and a fine catch there, and we remain at a 1-0 hockey game.
Looks like we got role reversal here. The Aeros are playing like the guys who slept in their own beds last night, not Minnesota, which got up this morning and caught you an 8:25 flight and came down here.
You know, the interesting thing here is you look at the Dwayne Dirksen save. This is a fine play by Maurice, but this should have never happened when Dirksen gave the puck up to Maurice in the corner.
Dirksen is very, very unsure of himself. He is tentative with a capital T. Youngster there enjoying the game, one of the many that have come here tonight, and no doubt will be back again Wednesday night when Las Vegas with Radek Bonk comes to town.
Oh, if you've not seen Radek Bonk, you've got to get your ticket. What a game that's going to be. Aeros in the Las Vegas Thunder. Puck still in Minnesota territory. Sean Williams now left side, shoots it to the line. Oh, Arniel thought he was Jordan for a second, leaping high in the air, couldn't quite hold it in. Now back in center, Arniel banked it off the boards, but Kolstad is there to spank it into Aero territory with just under 9 minutes to play in the first period. Hope you're enjoying this one. A 1-0 Aero lead. Here is Curtis Hunt now left side. He'll jump to center ice. Hunt, team captain for the Aeros, through the neutral zone. He'll hoist that high in the air, and he'll bounce far corner into Minnesota territory. Freer, first one to the puck, trying to bounce it along, and there's Tippett. He runs into Kolstad. Now they go at it a little bit. Tippett came out in front. Here's the shot blocked as it goes wide. Here's another chance. Arniel can't get the shot away. Kolstad and Tippett continue to joust. But Tippett, showing the veteran leadership, kept his cool. He wanted a piece of Kolstad the worst way. The play goes on. Now we're going to get a penalty on Mark Freer as he draws Hawkins to the ice, and Freer will go to the box for the hook, and the Aeros will be shorthanded for the first time tonight, but leading 1-0. Boy, what a job Dave Tippett was doing in the corner, Barry.
Tippett never lost his cool. He gets hooked, he gets slashed, as we see the slash there by Mark Freer, and a good acting job there as Humanek goes down, but Kolstad in front of the ice, got the stick up high, and the veteran Dave Tippett, who without question, I've got to say, has been the #1 surprise of this training camp. Everyone knew what a great defensive player, what a great checker he was. No one knew about his scoring opportunity. Showed his poise there by not going for the bait.
4 goals, 15 assists for Dave Tippett. And he has been everything I think the Aeros have wanted and more. And, you know, it's funny when you talk to him after the game, some of the insights he has as a player coach from the ice surface.
He's going to be a great coach when he gets done.
Yes. I think, to be honest with you, they've got a couple. Scott Arniel as well, I think, is going to be an outstanding coach when he gets his chance. Here is Dave Christian now across the line. He'll play it for Minnesota with 7:58 to go in the first. He sent it the pass. That's tipped away. Remember, the Moose now on the power play. And that means the Aeros will have all kinds of time if they want to shoot it down the ice. There's no icing when you're short end. Here is Sean Williams, far corner, and the Aeros will turn and get it out to center. Oldham deflected it a little bit for the Minnesota Moose, and it'll go all the way down to Dwayne Dirksen. Now here's Larry Oldham in behind his net with 7:38 to play in the first period. 1-0 Houston. 1:17 left in the third. Here's Christian, booms it into Aero territory. Far corner. Here's Kevin Grant, shouldered by Williams. Good hit in the corner. Now they go at it, skate to skate to the right of Troy Gamble. It's kicked away by Shank, but finally Clayton Young tipped it to the line. It's out to center ice. Here come the Aeros with a short-handed opportunity. Maurice brought the play in, but he was staggered off the puck by Dave Christian. Now Oldham wrapped up in the corner by Freer. That's Young. Freer's in the box, kind of hard to do it from there. Young in there shouldering along. Now Oldham trying to dig it out of there. They go at it. Now it pops free. Here's Maurice to the line. Shagarunsky a shot, and that goes wide of the net. Now Maurice, right side, just goes for a skate at center. In no hurry to put on any pressure short-handed. He's just going to kill off some time and shoot it right back down the ice. Half a minute to go in the Freer minor. 1-0. The Aeros lead it.
Shank and Maurice going to get into it a little bit.
Here's a puck down picked up by Scott Humanuk for the Minnesota Moose. Left to right he comes. Pass up the left side. Kolstad shoot it into Aero territory. Now Chitteroni trying to work the puck away from Young. He will. Skates it to the far side. And here comes the human cannonball. Mario Chitteroni across the line. 3-on-2. Dropped it. Chagarodsky gets it back. Chitteroni. Stuff shot right on. And there was Dirksen with a fine save. Here is Curtis Hunt now back at his own blue line. Hunt forecheck by John Young. Hunt still drifting back. And this crowd, boy, they know when they see some good penalty killing, and they give the Aeros a nice little applause as they've killed off the penalty. Teams at 5 aside. Here's Arniel now. Across the line with Freer and Chitteroni. Freer cuts in left side. Moves it around. Kolstad center. Chitteroni. Oh, and a great save by Dirksen. Somehow kicking the leg like he was some aerobics instructor, getting that leg on that puck, and he was able to kick it out of there. When we return, a penalty. The Aeros lead at 1-0 on the Aeros Broadcasting Network.
With a flavor of Mexico, sizzles.
Some players set records. Others will break them. Doubles and triples. Down the line or into the stands. The hits just keep on coming. Jeff Bagwell. This is Star Power.
Astros baseball. Star Power.
The Astros salute first baseman Jeff Bagwell, the 1994 National League Most Valuable Player.
Mark Freer loves to use an aluminum stick because it's lighter. He gets a one-hand pass. Just a marvelous job as he is hooked from behind the net. And Chitteroni looks like he's got a goal, but at the last moment, his legs get cut out from under him.
Now the puck back, and the Aeros are on the power play. It's 2 minutes up the Hackstall, and the Aeros will have their first power play of the night. Now it is Dave Tippett. He'll quarterback this power play. Tippett now trying to move it to center ice. Had a little trouble with it, stick handling around. Shank went back to gain his composure. Now Tippett left side shoots the puck into Minnesota territory. Dirksen slows behind the net. Will he play it? It looked like he wasn't too confident with that as it was played away by Townsend. He looks really shaky when he handles that puck. Now it's picked up by Freer. Get it back to the line. That'll bounce to center ice though. 5:25 left in the first. Here's Arniel, had his stick lifted, but now Freer turns it into the right side, trying to make his move. Great move as he cuts in, waits, shoots, and he had it popped away. Oh, nice move by Freer. Here is Valamont, top of the slot for Scott Arniel, right wing board. Snap pass, cross the ice, Tippett, long shot, deflected right over, don't score! Mark Freer on the rebound. Power play goal, 2-0, Aeros lead it.
Cross-ice pass, as you said. Tippett down low. There's a 2-on-1 situation, and Grant Townsend, who was defensive end uses his muscle, and Dirksen finds himself down 2.
You know, this play starts from Scott Arniel on the right side, gives a great cross-ice pass, but Freer was right there on the doorstep.
And again, we've got the 2-on-1 in front, a great pass, and the deflection from Tippett off the stick of Graham Townsend and Freer.
Face-off will be at center ice. Young, Maurice, and Brian Pellerin with Steve Jakes and Oleg Shagarodsky. So Freer gets the goal. And for Mark Freer now, who's got his 10th goal of the year. And for Mark Freer, his 6th power play goal of the year. Tippett and Arniel will get the assists. Here is Scott Humanuk. He'll come to center ice for Blair Hatchingham. Brings the puck into Aero territory. Back goes Jakes. Cross-ice pass for Pellerin. Watched by Christian, but he was able to lob it out to center ice. Maurice on his horse, but can't get there as Humanuk able to clear it to center. Kicked away by Shagarodsky, but jumped on by Blair Hatchingham for the Moose to Scott Sissons. Speedy little winger comes down the side with a long shot that goes wide of the net. Now Pellerin trying to clear, but Holstad is there as he's shouldered in there by Brian Pellerin. Now here is Clayton Young for the Aeros. Bangs one up for Pellerin. He's in there along the far board. Now it's dug out by Sissons. Centered one. Ack went through as Gamble got a piece of it. And now it's jumped on by Mike Maurice to center ice. Shoots one in. That goes right on to Dirksen, and he bobbled the puck. He really looks shaky, Barry. Now the puck in the near corner. Pellerin digs the puck out. Hackborn overskated it. Hackborn got it back, though. Left side, top of the slot. Hunt a drive. That's blocked. And now Humanuk can't clear. Hunt turns. Centered one. That was tipped away by Humanuk. Now the puck picked up by Sissons and shot all the way down the ice. This will be an icing call as the Aeros go back. Hunt to touch it, and play is whistled down. Let's take time out. 2-0 Aeros. More IHL action after this.
Excuse me, Shuddy.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
Star of the Greater Houston RV Show is the Ron Hoover RV Center. The show's over, but the sale continues at our I-45 location. Dozens of motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers delivered from our 4 Texas locations to the Ron Hoover RV Center on I-45. The same low show prices and on-the-spot financing. Select the Country Air, the Country Star, the Dutch Star from the Newmark collection. Buy this week only and get a free trip to Branson, Missouri and save up to $20,000. It's the biggest RV sale in Texas at the Ron Hoover RV Center on I-45.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Dwayne Dirksen. Well, I thought Arniel was going to get that, so he'll have to hold off on his 100 point plateau there.
We got 3:50 to go in the period. He may get it yet.
Now the puck picked up near side. Here is a chance. Yo trying to muscle it free. It'll be picked up by Yo trying to muscle that ahead. And finally it comes out to center ice. All the way back into Aero territory. And now it is Kevin Grant. Grant in his own zone. He'll bang it out to center ice. Now to roll all the way down to Dirksen, who comes out and flings it out to center ice. Now jumped on by the Moose. Here is Sean Williams. Williams hits the line with a long shot. Right on. Gamble to save. And he doesn't quite know where that ended up, but he's got it. And he'll hold on. 3:23 left in the first, and a 2-0 hockey game.
The view is seen by Kevin Grant right down low by the left side, and that one hurts a little bit in the solar plexus of Troy Gamble, right where that trick he set a couple of days ago.
You know, I should probably reiterate. I had said that Arniel needs one more point for 100 in his career, and I should re-emphasize that it's one more assist he needs for 100 in his IHL career. I should definitely mention that. Face off to the left side of Troy Gamble. Here is Shagarodsky now. Rolls the puck to the far corner for Mario Chitteroni. Sends it back along the boards. Now Corvo gave the puck in front, but that's picked away by Freer. And he'll strongly skate it out to center ice. Mark Freer, left side, across the line now. Freer, well, lost it. Now here's a break by Corvo. He's in alone. Ivan Corvo, deep shoots, and he ripped it wide of the net. Credit Carl Valamont to get on his horse and get back to at least wreak a little havoc for Corvo as he let that shot go wide. Now the Aeros turn. They'll shoot it down the ice. This will be icing as Hackstall goes back and play is whistled down. So Freer on the power play at 14:53. Townsend and Tippett the assist, and Arniel from Valamont and Chitteroni.
On the breakaway, Ivan Evan Corvo has trouble locating the puck, and it goes just wide as Troy Gamble goes down and kicks that pad out, but nothing touches it. Simply an errant shot.
He didn't give him much on that far side, but he had to be accurate, and he wasn't as he shot it wide of the net. Now a face-off will be in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. 2.5, or make that 2:50 rather, to play here in this first period. Aeros leading this hockey game by a score of 2-0, and here is Clayton Young now to take a face-off against Dave Christian. Sticks down, drops the puck. Aeros win the draw. Clayton Young trying to work it away, but that's popped by Christian, far corner. Now Sissons and Hunt go at it. Hunt wins the battles. He fished it out. Get it to Kevin Grant. Left side, Mike Maurice. He'll move to center. Cross-ice pass for the breaking Clayton Young. Trying to move around. Kolstad cuts right in on goal, and he centered a pass to the crease. Picked up again by Young. Boy, the Aeros have all kinds of jump here in this first period. Is this reminiscent of the Atlanta game last Wednesday? A week ago. A week and a half ago. Here is a puck picked up. I don't know what day it is. You can stop anytime, Bear. Here is Maurice now into the slot. He's worked away by Kolstad. Now Sissons jumps on it. Get it out to center ice. Kolstad. We've been on the road all month. You kind of forget where home is. Here is Curtis Hunt now. He'll get a pass to center ice. Graham Townsend flipped it ahead for Young. Shot the puck into the Minnesota zone with 2 minutes to play here in this first period in a 2-0 hockey game. Aeros lead it. Here is Chris Hines now, meandering to center ice. Down the left side, shoots it into Aero territory. That will bounce right to Gamble. Chargarodsky trying to clear it. Came to Yo. Can't clear. Now a long shot is blocked. Jumped on by Hackborn, and here come the Aeros. 3-on-2. Hackborn tipping Yo. Hackborn across the line. Ooh, and his pass was deflected away. He tried to go back for Tippett, but that was worked away. Now it is John Young at center. Young hits the line, but Yo back to work it away. And now out of the net, Troy Gamble. Inside. Young can't clear. It comes down low. It's centered by Shank, but there was Chargarodsky to pick it up for the Aeros and send it out to center ice. Hackborn to Yo. Now Hackstall at center. Turns it around for Minnesota. He's bumped off by Valamon. Moose have got it at center. And here come the Minnesota Moose. Brad Miller shoots the puck into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net. And here comes Carl Valamon now. Valamon rolled a pass, and Chargarodsky was not up on the play. Had to go over and get it far side. And it came to center ice. Now it's just trying to launch one ahead. Hackstall back in his own zone. Forecheck by Freer. Now back is Yo. Mike Yo. He spun off the puck. Picked up as we've got 52 seconds to go in the first period. 2-0 hockey game. Hawkins at center. Here's Hawkins across the line. Checked by Curtis Hunt. It was centered, and Arniel tipped it away, but nobody there for the Aeros to come up with it. Now it is Williams. Sean Williams shoots the puck in Aero territory with 37 seconds left. Kevin Grant able to turn on it and get it out to center. Back goes Grant now out of the net. Here's Troy Gamble. Let's slow it for Kevin Grant. Checked by Moran of the Moose, but it came near side for Scott Arniel, but he lost it to Hines. 23 seconds left. 2-0 Aeros lead it, and here is Mario Chitteroni cutting right in front of his net now, setting up camp behind the cage, and he'll move it right. No, he'll leave it for Curtis Hunt. Here is Curtis Hunt now. He'll turn the play to the near side. Hunt will just fire it down the ice. This will be an icing call if the Moose get there first. But Freer on his horse gets in there, and he plays the puck. No icing as he centered it. Oh, what a play. And the Aeros are going to draw a penalty with 0.2 of a second remaining. What a heads-up play by Mark Freer, going in with no aggression at all. No discretion, I should say. He went in there, and he went in there and not only negated the icing, but centered it. It goes right in along the end walls, and watch Freer come smoking in there to outbreak Chris Miller, lunging for the puck, and he's able to get it on his stick, have the presence of mind to center to a breaking Scott Arniel, and he's able to draw the penalty. So 2 minutes up on the board to Hines, and with 0.2 of a second left, the Aeros, for all intents and purposes, will get the full 2 minutes of this power play when we start the second period. Mark Freer wanting to have a big game. You know, he scored a big goal Friday night in Atlanta, and I really thought he was going to explode on the scene Saturday. Was not able to, but so far tonight, having an outstanding hockey game with line mate Scott Arniel. So they drop the puck, and the 2:10 expire, and we are through with a period of action. And what a period it was for the Houston Aeros. They jumped all over the Minnesota Moose and kind of like gagging them to death. Now have a 2-0 lead. When we return, we'll have a chat with Scott Arniel. 2-0 Aeros on the Aeros Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Summit in Houston. I'm Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. We're in the first period intermission. The Aeros Arrows leading by a score of 2-0, and Aeros getting off a good start with Scott Arniel scoring the first goal, and Scott needing just one more assist to reach 100 in his IHL career, and he is standing by with Barry Warner. Barry?
Scott, when Adam and I opened up the telecast, we talked about the fact that you sometimes get confused. You get most of your scoring on the road and not at home, which is traditional. What's been going on with you as you've been the leading goal scorer for the Aeros, and tonight getting your 15th of the year?
Well, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe because we don't play here at all too much in November. We weren't here very often, and it seems like we were on the road an awful lot. But I don't know. It's just one of those crazy things. I mean, it's just something that happens. I don't change my style. I don't think I do change my style very much from the road to how I play at home. But maybe it turned around tonight. Hopefully I can start doing it. We have a good homestand coming up here in December. Hopefully I can change things back the other way.
Scott, were you as surprised as Adam and I were, were when you scored on that goal, that you had so much ice to work with and simply walk in? Did it seem like everybody was preoccupied with Freer getting into the fight by the side of the cage?
Yeah, Mark certainly had a lot to do with it. He took that defenseman away, but the big play, I think, was at the blue line where the puck was going to the line. Both their forwards and their D took off, and Carl Valman, just at the last second, decided to stop, and he knew he had a piece of it, and he just punched it back towards me, and we caught their three guys going the other way, and one of them happened to be a defenseman, so, and Mark just did the rest by tackling the guy in front, so it certainly gave me some time, and, then it was just one-on-one the goalie. You can't ask for a better situation than that.
Scott, what type of a situation was it for you after enjoying the great success you did, being an all-star performer with Hubie McDonough out in San Diego, and all of a sudden they disband that line and you find yourself going to a new city, starting all over again?
Well, that's happened. That's hockey. I mean, everybody gets something either by trade or by your own decision to go somewhere else. And this was my own decision. I wanted to go somewhere where, this was on the ground floor. This is a situation where I could, make a new change. Things weren't quite what I liked in San Diego, being affiliated with Anaheim. But certainly, I missed playing with Hubie McDonough, and he was a heck of a player. But I've been playing with some great guys here. Mark Freer's a tremendous player, and same with Lenny Hackborn. And these guys compliment me just tremendous.
So often in sport we lose the human aspect. We talk about what the players do on the field or on the ice. We don't realize that these guys have got families, and for you it's been so difficult. Your wife joined you in your childhood just this week?
Yeah, my wife and my son and my daughter, they came down, I guess it's been 2 weeks now we've been on the road, so it's nice to get them here, and it certainly makes things a lot more easier both for her and for myself. And it's nice to have the family around, nice to have that support. It kind of keeps your mind off hockey. It's nice when you go home and you have to worry about chasing the kids around the house. You don't have to worry about if you've had a bad game or whatnot, and you just come to the rink and prepare again when it's time.
Safe to say that after you hang up the blades, that the kids will be calling you not just Daddy, but Coach Arniel?
Well, I'd like to look at that opportunity. We'll just take it 1 year at a time and see what happens down the road, but I'm leaning a little bit towards that.
Aeros are up 2-0. One of the main reasons why, the way they got on the board early with that first goal off the blade of the Aeros leading goal scorer, Scott Arniel. We'll have more Aeros hockey on HSE after this brief timeout.
Flying on steel blades across an arena of ice, stopping on a dime. Houston has a new way of flying. They're called the Aeros, and they're Houston's newest pro team. They'll be earning their wings every day. Bringing you thrills and chills will be their goal.
Las Vegas battles Houston, Wednesday night at 7, live on HSE.
Here at Luxor Las Vegas, you can dine at one of 7 world-class restaurants, pamper yourself at a luxurious European spa, or explore the mysteries of the pyramid in a multi-million-dollar virtual reality adventure. So we thought we'd show you your room now, because you probably won't be seeing much of it later. Luxor Las Vegas. Get into it.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. We're in the first period intermission. The Aeros leading by a score of 2-0. And Barry, we were talking a little bit about the Atlanta game almost 2 weeks ago on Wednesday the 16th, and the Aeros had such a tremendous first period. Little different outcome, though, that the Aeros didn't expect. And I know if they can keep up the intensity that they had in that first period, this should be a W.
Well, that's the key. And they've got an opportunity to really put Dwayne Erickson away. I saw him sitting with the sweater off, with a couple of towels around him, squirting himself down. He does not look like a happy nor a confident goaltender.
Well, you know, he really did on this first save as we take a look at the highlights. And Dwayne Dirksen came in, and Mark Freer makes a wonderful play here as he will go right around Brad Miller, and then he tries to spot Arniel, but instead goes with a backhander. Dirksen makes a fine save, but that would be about all he'd do, as Scott Arniel will pick up a loose puck and beat him for the first goal of the game. But the key is Carl Valamont right there. Makes a great play. Everybody's concerned about Mark Freer and Larry Olam, so Arniel will go in, stick handle it past Dirksen. Aeros lead at 1-0, but they weren't done. What a play. Townsend able to redirect to Freer there on the power play. And we talked about the specialty teams, Barry, and the Aeros lead at 2-0 courtesy of a power play goal.
We also talk about the big man from Kingston, Jamaica, and Toronto, and that's Graham Townsend. He has got the size and the presence that Ray Childress brings to a defensive line. He's that big and he is that strong, and it's very difficult for any defenseman and a goaltender to knock him when he's right in front of that cage.
Okay, the Aeros lead it by a score of 2-0, and we'll have more in the first period intermission after this.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. Grow a collection of fun with Chia Pet puppies, kittens, turtles, bunnies, plus the new chia frogs, pigs, hippos, and chia trees. Ask for it by name.
Chia.
The pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet's available at Eckerd, Tom Thumb Food and Pharmacy, and Kmart stores. Makes a great gift.
Chia.
Chia Herb Garden comes with everything you need to grow 6 different herbs indoors. Seeds, pots and saucers, plant food, instruction booklet, even chia growing mix. A great gift for anyone. Just plant your herb seeds, water, add plant food, then put them in a sunny spot, and
Chia
makes cooking fun
and tasty.
Chia Herb Garden.
The Chia Herb Garden is available at all Target stores. Makes a great gift.
Welcome to Sam Houston Race Park. Good luck to you.
Time to go to work, boys.
My grandfather said pick number 7.
Let's stay close to the pace.
Can you explain a quinella to me?
That's all right.
I know your granddad said number 7.
You bet.
Nothing beats the thrill of winning. Yes. Gotta be here to feel it.
What if there were only 3 seconds left on the clock? I'd call for the ball. We all know they'd give it to me. I'd be double covered, but that wouldn't stop me. I'd jump up and snatch that rock. I'd eyeball the hoop. Guys would be clawing at me. I'd plant, turn, fire. Naturally, a swish.
Oh, yeah. Abdul Rauf and Maxwell know a few things about beating the buzzer.
Yeah, that's what I do. Want to see it again? I still have 2 seconds left.
Nuggets Rockets, Tuesday night at 7:30, live on HSE.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. A 2-0 hockey game here in the first period. And let's take a more in-depth look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary, brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. And Scott Arniel getting the first goal of the hockey game at 6:03 from Carl Valamont and Mario Chitteroni. And then, like we talked about, the power play coming to life at 14:53. Mark Freer getting the goal from Townsend and Tippett. And the Aeros lead at 2-0. And the nice thing, Barry, is you look at those two names. Those are two names that haven't been on the score sheet together in a while.
It's great to see that. It's also great to see Freer, Arniel, and Valamont all +2, and that's one thing the players love, knowing that they're on the ice, the scoreboard gets lit up, and they're part of the reason why. That's one of the beauties of hockey.
All right, let's take a look at the reason why. It's tonight's first period stats brought to you by James Coney Island Restaurants, and the shots on goal 13-7 in favor of the Aeros, and Dwayne Dirksen making 11 saves, and Troy Gamble stopping all 7 shots that he faced in that first period. The Aeros 1 of 1 on the power play. The Minnesota Moose 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Penalty situation, the Minnesota Moose had 3 minors for 6 minutes. The Aeros 2 for 4 minutes, and that's a look at your James Coney Island first period stats. So Aeros leading it by a score of 2-0. And Barry, I think, you know, you look at what the Aeros really want to do coming out in the second period is not let up. I think sometimes they have a tendency to say they've got the lead and not go for that killer instinct. I think we've talked about that now to death this year, but this is just another case. If you give a team the sense that they can get back in, then all of a sudden maybe they go for the jugular, and that's what's happened at times for the Aeros.
The first 2-3 minutes to this period so vital. The Aeros have got to come out like they're 2 goals behind, not 2 goals up, and go for it right away.
All right, 2-0 the Aeros lead it, and when we return, second period action. We'll be back after this. Aeros leading 2-0 on the Aeros Broadcasting Network. Along with Barry Warner here in the Summit, 2-0. The Aeros leading it in the first period intermission. You know, we've talked a little bit about Dwayne Dirksen and his struggles in the net, but Barry, Troy Gamble, he's playing well. He hasn't really been tested, but this is an important game for Troy Gamble. Remember, he hasn't played in the last 3.
It's very important because Terry Ruskowski changed his strategy. Instead of going with Troy Gamble and giving Robbie Dobson the opportunity to know well in advance when he was going to play, he changed things around, going with a hot goaltender, and for a while there were some anxious moments at the start of this telecast when we saw Rob Dobson having to go back out when Frank Serratori called the referee over, but Troy Gamble got settled down. His first save was not an easy one. He juggled the puck with the glove hand, but after that settled down, took a couple of hard shots, one in the stomach, one off the pad, as the Aeros netminder finds himself right now 2 periods away from a shutout. And the way that Curtis Hunt, the captain, has played in defense. Adam, you were with the team on the road, and we sensed what it was like for Curtis when he was not able to play because of the bad knee, how badly he tasted, how badly he wanted to come back. And to me, just based upon this first period, it's the best period of play that I've seen Curtis Hunt have all year.
Well, and the big thing was when he came back, they wanted to make sure that his strained shoulder wasn't going to come back. I mean, that's the shoulder you use when you're shooting the puck and all that, and it was very important to see how well he would play, and he did very well with 3 assists. Let's take a look at Arrowwear merchandising, and it's for all you Arrowheads, and you look at this authentic game jersey. It's a replica of the one the Aeros wear at the Summit, home whites with the Aeros distinctive logo plus colorful green and blue accents. Come on, look at each other, smile a little bit. There you go, very nice. Okay, these jerseys come in 2 sizes, small, medium, and large, extra large, carefully tailored to guarantee a comfortable fit. It's the quote-unquote aerodynamic look. It's made in Canada, by Bauer ProWear, the official uniform supplier to the Aeros, and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. These great-looking jerseys are available for only $79.95 plus $5.75 shipping and handling. To order, dial toll-free 1-800-423-2121. Credit cards are accepted. Join the Aero Force and show your true colors. Call 1-800-423-2121 and make sure you ask for your Arrowwear models not included.
Adam, I thought you had that up because that's what you're going to buy me for my birthday this week.
Is it your birthday? What did you turn, 36?
On Friday. I'll be 1 years old.
Face-off will be at center ice as we start the second period. Here is Freer, Townsend, and Arniel now with a defensive unit of Valamont and Tippett. Again, the Aeros are on the power play to start this second period. A fresh 2 minutes up on the board to Chris Miller. Now a big hit as Valamont is drilled by Brad Miller, and the puck goes down the ice. No, here's Carl Valamont now. Cross ice pass Tippett, trying to bring the puck in left side. Arniel worked it back for Tippett, but that play offsides, and they'll bring the face-off back to center ice. So the Aeros, everything they need for a good start to the period, they've got it here. They'll have a face-off just outside the Minnesota zone, and they've got 1:45 left on the power play and a 2-0 lead.
And if the opportunity presents itself, look for the Aeros to send one goaltender breaking in towards net. The pass isn't there. He'll screen for the defenseman coming right behind him to take the shot.
Freer against Moran. Drop of the puck, and the Moose have got it. Here is Brad Miller now in his own zone, heads up. He'll hoist that high in the air, and that'll check up in the Aero zone. Now Carl Valamont will turn in his own corner and roll in behind his net. He'll start the rush from left to right. Aeros 1 of 1 on the power play. When Freer scored his goal back in the first period, Arniel, oh my, almost a head-on collision with Graham Townsend, and kind of a miscommunication there. Arniel looked back over his shoulder. Graham said, "Where are you going?" And the Aeros have to go back to get it now. 1:18 left on the power play. Here's Dave Tippett left side across the line now. Tippett rolled it back. Arniel left point, bumped by Brad Miller. Back for Tippett though, in behind the net. Now turns back to his right into the far corner. Tippett now cycles it down for Mark Freer, trying to find Townsend, who came in to play it, but now it's Brad Miller, and he'll shoot it down the ice. So the Moose doing a good job here. They're not allowing the Aeros much in the passing lanes, and they're doing a fine job of aggressively penalty killing and forcing the play along the boards, and then they are able to find the loose pucks and get them out of there. Now in Minnesota territory, the Aeros have the puck. It teeters the blue line. Valamont, did he hold that in? They say yes, he did. Ooh, that was close, but the Aeros were able to hold it in. Here's Brad Miller behind the net. He'll shoot it all the way down the ice. Now Danny Schenk, who got behind it on his horse to come up with it, and Gamble says, fine, I'll play it away. And it'll go to the near side, but no Aeros around it. Here is Danny Schenk now left side for the Moose. Turn it for Christian. Into the short-handed. Christian lets his shot go. And now now the puck picked up by Schenk. Rolling in behind the Aero net. Now it's Carl Valamont with 22 seconds left on the power play. Here is Oleg Shargorodsky now, right side. He'll hit the line. Shargorodsky for the Houston Aeros shoots the puck along the boards. It'll Karam fire boards now. Clayton Young left side trying to hold it in. Now it's Steve Goslin waltzing down left side. A long shot and a stick save made by Dirksen. He'll cover up and hold on. 2 minutes just about gone by in this second period, and the Aeros lead it by a score of 2-0.
Goslin seemed very indecisive there when he got that puck. Didn't know whether to walk it on in or just to stay back. He took the shot, but did not have the normal strength you would expect from a Steve Goslin shot from the point.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Dwayne Dirksen. Lenny Hackmore now with Clayton Young and Mike Maurice. Oleg Shargorodsky and Steve Goslin defensively. And the Aeros have just 7 seconds with which to work on this power play. But a face off deep. Here is Len Hackmore now. He'll take the draw against Scott Sissons. He's up there with Blair Atchingham. Defensively, Kolstad and Chris Hines. Now Sissons line up, pull up and then try it again. Top of the block. Clayton Young wins the draw. Snapped it back. Maurice. Roll it to Shargorodsky. Left point long shot deflected. Young shoots. Sky! Oh, what a goal! Bing, bang, boom. Behind the twine. 3-0 Aeros lead it. A power play goal.
Bing, bang, boom. We talked about the role of the specialty teams in the power play. The importance of the face-off. The way that puck came back from Hackborn to the point. As Oleg Shargorodsky, I believe it was Shargorodsky on the far point. The draw, Shargorodsky down low, and then the pass, bing, bang, boom, and away we go. Tic-tac-toe, and the Aeros make it 3-0. But the way that the Aeros controlled the puck off the draw and prevented the black jerseys of Minnesota from coming out to stop the puck made that passing work so well.
Second goal in 3 games for Clayton Young since returning from a separated shoulder. Welcome back to the lineup, number 9. Puck back at center ice. Clayton Young flipped it back to his own blue line. That'll go all the way down into the Aeros zone. And here is Curtis Hunt now, near corner. Aeros leading 3-0. Hunt pushed one ahead to center. Here is Clayton Young now through the neutral zone, across the line. Young trying to make the move. That was tipped away. Puck in front, but there was Sissons. He'll turn in his own zone. Here's Scott Sissons now. He'll shoot this one all the way down the ice. It'll pop up for one of the Aeros, Curtis Hunt. That is icing. Again, the Moose on their side of center red, shooting it over 3 lines. That is icing. And the face-off then goes back into your own zone. And it'll be to the right of Dwayne Dirksen.
You fans have yet to come out to the Summit. You are really missing something. Wednesday night, a great opportunity to come out. It's not just Radek Monk, it's Patrice Lefebvre. I probably butchered that name too, but number 7 just does a dynamite job as he is the equivalent of a Mario Cittarone, the way he's just a little water bug all over the ice.
Well, I mean, you can start there with those two, but how about Ken Quinney? How about Alexei Yashin? It just goes on and on. I mean, they are a very talent-laden hockey club. Off the face-off now. Here's Carl Valamont, left point. Lets a shot go right on. I don't think that made it to Dirksen, though. That was actually deflected, I think, by Hines to the Moose. And he'll jump on it now. Come to center ice. Hines at the right side. Trying to tip it ahead for Todd Hawkins. That play will be whistled down offsides. Again, remember, the puck needs to be the first thing across the blue line. And what happened on that particular play, Hawkins was just ahead of the play as the puck kind of bobbled at the blue line and timing off, and that is offsides. Face off to center. And that'll be outside the Aeros zone. And here is a look at Mark Freer, Scott Arniel, Mario Cittarone, and there's Todd Hawkins. Just picked up recently, a tough customer. He and Mike Yeo had a pretty good go in Minnesota. A very good bout. Hawkins, a veteran. And a face-off at center ice. Moose win the draw. Hines shoots the puck into the Aeros zone. Near side, Cittarone can't clear. Here's Brad Miller. Wine shoots. That was deflected high and wide. Just by Gamble there. And a change direction and flutter. Now Moran wrapped up by Freer along the inboards. Here's Todd Hawkins, base of the left circle. Rolled it down into the corner for Kolstad. Freer bumped off by Williams. Now Moran turns, can't get the shot away. He overskated the puck, and Kevin Grant comes to center for the Aeros. Tipped it ahead for Freer. Hits the line. Freer rolled it back. Arniel. Wine shoots, deflected. Cittarone can't get the shot away. Now Arniel jams it wide of the net. Dirksen comes out of the net. It's played to the far corner, and it's picked up by Hawkins. Lead pass up for Moran. Tipped away by Valamont. It's chopped back at center. Here is Arniel. Hits the line. Arniel, roll it for Freer. Cuts into the slot. Now sends it for Steve Jakes. Right side. Turns. Leaks in front with a backhander. And it's turned around with a right pad saved by Dirksen. Shargorodsky, a shot that's deflected. Oleg again left side. Watched by Hines. Oleg cuts in behind the cage. Stuff shot. Wrap around. And a stick save by Dirksen. And he will cover up and hold on. Let's take a timeout. 16:15 to go in the second period. Aeros lead it 3-0 back after this.
It's time for friends to fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
And people are friendlier than ever. Just make reservations at least a day in advance and buy your round-trip ticket at Southwest's regular low unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you, free, anywhere we fly.
Joe! Dad, what do you think?
Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
When the Post asked what you want in a Sunday paper, you said, give us the news that affects our lives. Give us great writers. Show us exciting things to do. And we did. Then you asked for just one more thing. A little dirt. Introducing Cover Story Entertainment Magazine. Delivering the hottest scoop on your favorite celebrities from the world of music, sports, and Hollywood. Free on Sunday, only in the Sunday Houston Post.
Dwayne Dirksen keeps us from being a 4-0 game, not once but twice. He gets the kick save out, gets the pad out there, and Oleg Shadarowski comes around for a wraparound that Dirksen stops.
Makes a great play. Shagarowski shading it in there, and there's a great stick save by Dirksen, and now we're back to action. Puck at center ice, but Kolstad is there to lob it back into Aero territory, and they'll say that's an offside play, and play will be halted. 4 minutes gone in the second period, and the Aeros have not let up an ounce here in this second period. They have jumped all over the Minnesota Moose, kind of like a mother on a kid's back, have not let up at all here in this hockey game.
This is a much different Houston Aero hockey team. The Aeros are playing with more communication defensively, and that's something that you talked about in the games that you broadcast when the team went on the road. What was it, about 2 weeks ago when they left? Or 5 games ago?
You're asking the wrong guy, even though I was there. Puck comes back to the near side now, as here's Steve Jakes in his own zone. Right side, pass up to center ice for Lenny Hackborn. Here's Hackborn through the neutral zone, shoots it into Moose territory, out of the net Dirksen. He'll slow and flip it along the boards. Tippett couldn't knock it down. Corvo's got it, and here comes John Young, romping to center ice with Shank and Kolstad. Hits the line, dropped it, Kolstad, line, shoots, scores! D. Kolstad, big drive from the right point. Moose on the board. It's a 3-1 hockey game. What a goal.
Kolstad lets this thing rip, and for a moment, it looked like I thought that Troy Gamble was going to get that with the hand, but Kolstad comes out, the puck is dropped, lets the thing rip on a one-timer.
I'm not so sure that wasn't deflected.
It had to have been deflected. Let's take another look at it here. There's the drop pass. Hackborn doesn't challenge enough. That puck looked like it did get deflected.
I think Shagarowski got just a piece of it. I wonder if there's a way we can see that one more time, because Shagarowski, I think the heel of his stick just deflected it, and you can't fall gamble on that.
No, the way Troy was centered, Troy looked like he was going to snatch that.
3-1 now as the Moose on the board, and it's now a 2-goal lead for the Aeros. 15:30 to go in the second period. Now the puck shot into Minnesota territory. Out of the net, Dirksen slows and had a little trouble with it, but he got it over to Sissons, and here come the Moose now. They'll jump the center ice, shoot the puck into Aero territory. Hunt trying to pop it away. Here is Maurice, rolled it up for Clayton Young. He'll chip it out to center ice, and the Moose go back. 15:10 to play in the second. 3-1 hockey game. Here is Dave Christian at center. Rolled it ahead for Sissons, broken up by Townsend, and he'll go back into his own zone.
Here's where the Aeros have got to be very alert.
Now Miller jumps up on the play, give it to Christian, cuts it back. Hackstall shoots upstairs high and wide. Now it is Clayton Young trying to roll it along, and it finally is shot by Sissons, and Gamble through traffic somehow got it back to the line, but not out. Hackstall wide, shoots, that's blocked. That came down to Gamble, and he had to lunge for it and cover up and hold on. And the Moose now starting to pick it up a little bit. And we talked about the Aeros. They've got to kind of get back into what got them their 3-goal lead at 3-0. And I think a part of it is it's not as much the Aeros as it is the Moose realizing, hey, we got that goal. Here we come. Let's pick it up. We're back in this thing.
The Moose got the break they needed, and we still think it may have been a deflection. We'll take a look at it again. The guys down to the truck are going to roll. The drop pass. Now, Hackborn doesn't go out to challenge as quickly as he could. It may have been Hackborn. It's just the heel maybe of it was Shadarowski's stick. That it went
barely. It's hard to tell. If anything, it doesn't take much, especially when it hits the heel, for it to take off like that. That only explains for its sudden rise like that. But regardless, it's now a 3-1 hockey game with 14:39 to go in the second period. And a huge collision along the boards as Chitteroni was dumped, and now Shagarotsky comes to center. That's worked back in Aero territory, and now Kevin Grant goes back in behind the cage. He'll start the rush from left to right. Here is Kevin Grant now. Carries up right side. Pass deflected at center. It'll go all the way down to Dwayne Dirksen in his own net. He'll slip it back for Brad Miller. 3-1, the Aeros lead it. Puck in Minnesota territory, and here they come from right to left. Pass out far side, Todd Hawkins. Watched by Arniel. Hawkins drifts back into the far circle, and the Aeros now using a bit of a neutral zone trap here, which is something that's not an aggressive forecheck, just kind of lay back and force the guys along the wall. Freer now works it near side, and the pass intercepted by Arniel, and it's turned around at center. Picked up by Brad Miller now, left side. Miller hits the line. Miller trying to work it around Kevin Grant. It's centered, but it goes wide of the net. Now Arniel trying to clear it up for Mark Freer. Comes to center ice. Hines trying to turn it around. And Hines at his own blue line will turn it out to center. Now picked up by Shagarotsky. Hits the line. Shagarotsky left wing spins away from the check of Hines. Rolled it into the far corner. And here's Mark Freer, base of the left circle. Trying to cut around Hawkins. He's pushed off the puck. Now Chitteroni working hard along the boards. Wrapped up by Hines. It's finally picked up by Hawkins. Chipped it back along near side with 13:23 to go in the second period. 3-1 the Aeros lead it, but they're starting to work it along the boards now. Freer gets it back to the line. Kevin Grant a drive. That's blocked by Moran, and here comes Hawkins. A man to beat Shagarotsky. Here is Hawkins across the line. Turns, spins a move and a pass, but Chitteroni came back to play that away. Now the puck stuffed out in front as Chitteroni lost it out in front, but it went wide of the net. Now it's center Hackborn. Can't play the puck, and Moose are back in their own territory. Ivan Corvo at center for John Young. Went ahead for Danny Shank. Rolled it into Aero territory, and Shagarotsky is there. Chopped away by Corvo. But Oleg trying to muscle it out of the zone. He did. And now Hackborn trying to bring it ahead, and we're going to get a penalty, I think, on the Houston Aeros. Danny Shank right side plays the puck on the delayed call. Gamble finally slows it. We'll get a whistle and a penalty coming up to the Minnesota Moose. 12:36 to play, and a holding minor coming to the Aeros, and we'll bring it to you when we return. 3-1 Aeros. More IHL hockey from the Summit after this.
Today's Houston Aeros broadcast is being brought to you in part by Coors Light. Reach for Coors Light, the silver bullet, and keep on moving.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving. Oh, yeah. Come on. Sing it, sing it. Yeah.
And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Santa, I've had another job offer.
How can we change your mind? Introducing new popcorn fish. Tasty bite-sized fillets of Long John Silver's fish, just $1.99.
Maybe if you gave me your popcorn fish.
Keep in touch, kid.
You're watching HSE, the best team on TV.
Oleg Shagarotsky sitting in the penalty box, 2 minutes for holding with 12:36 to go, and big Oleg has really picked up his play a little late, and he sits in the box there. And Pete Deneen, director of player personnel, just has nothing but highest praise for the Russian defenseman.
He has come so far since the inter-squad scrimmage when he came over and used equipment straight out of the pro shop at the Aerodrome, and has won his way on to a full-year contract with the Aero Club.
Face off now to the left of Gamble, and a big power play. You know, let's not forget the Moose have the last goal, and they've stepped it up a bit here. So the Aeros now will go to the penalty kill, and the Moose with their second power play of the night. And now Young was tossed out of the circle. Corvo was tossed out of there. Excuse me, it was Moran that was tossed out of there. Now Young comes in to take the draw, and he wins it. Back to the line. Here is Scott Humanuk now. Top of the slot getting set. Humanuk winds. Long shot deflected. It's loose in front. The slot picked up between the circles by Tippett. He can't clear it. Now it's Humanuk. Right point for the Minnesota Moose. Tossed it down low. That was finally turned away by Tippett. He said, I've had enough of this. I'm going to shoot it down the entire length of the ice, and he does so. Back out of the net is Dirksen, and Humanuk now will go back in behind the net and start the rush for another minute 35 on the power play. Scott Humanuk. He'll come to center ice. Forecheck by Tippett. Moves to the right side. Blows it into the Aero zone. It'll come to the near side. Pushed away by Christian. Pumped by Tippett. They go out got it skate to skate near side. Now Kevin Grant heads up. That's up near here, Barry, and I thought you'd dive for that, but no, a little out of your reach in play. Is whistled down with 1:21 remaining in the minor to Shagarodski. 11:56 to go in the second period. Aeros lead at 3-1.
I got a freezer full of pucks. What do I need one more for, Adam?
Well, I wanted to see your athletic ability diving for that.
You've seen my athletic ability.
My case in point.
Skydiving, yes. Terry Ruskowski, that's skydiving, diving off of a high diving board. The furthest thing from his mind right now, even though his club is up 3-1, he knows that this club has had a propensity sometimes for letting down.
Here is Clayton Young with Mike Maurice, Kevin Grant, and Curtis Hunt defensively. Moran, Corvo, Humanuk, Christian, and Young. Off the face-off now. The Moose have got it in their own zone. Only got a minute 15 with which to work on the power play. Here is Humanuk now behind the twine. He'll bring it from right to left. Humanuk carries to center ice. Scott Humanuk for Minnesota cuts to the right side. Watched by Clayton Young. Shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net. Fires it to Curtis Hunt. It's jammed to the line. Not out. Held in by Humanuk nicely. Here is Moran. Rolled it for Young. That's popped away by Kevin Grant. On the left side. It's Dave Christian trying to roll. Kevin Grant intercepted that. He'll come to center ice. 3-on-1 shorthanded. Here's Grant across the line. He turns center to pass. That was bobbled. Rebound on. Dirksen got a pad on it. Kevin Grant made the pass, but it was blocked in front, and that quickly stalled the rush. But the Aeros still had the presence of mind to get a great shot on goal, and he forced Dirksen to make a good save. Now the puck back in Aero territory. It's Curtis Hunt now. Tapped into the boards by Moran. Aeros can't clear. Here's Humanuk right side. Top of the circle. The drive. And Dubel got a pad on that to reject it. Now to the near side. Christian trying to roll it down the left side for Moran, but that's rolled away by Kevin Grant, and down the ice it'll go. 15 seconds remaining in the Shagarodski minor, and the Moose trying to catch the Aeros in a line change. Here's Moran for Hawkins. He got by Jakes with his shot, and it's stopped by Gamble as he got a glove on it. Now the puck, I think, skipped up and hit Williams in the face, but play going on right now. In the corner, Shank hustling with Curtis Hunt. Penalty over, team to find the side. Puck center. The drive right on, and a glove saved by Gamble. He'll hold on. 10:31 to go in the second period. 3-1, the Aeros lead it.
Excellent job defensively by number 5, Kevin Grant there. He led the charge in the 3-on-1 rush, and then came back and did an excellent job, not once but twice, deflecting some passes. Troy Gamble taking a well-deserved breather after making that save, and a good job done too by Jakes and by Hunt. Hunt goes after the puck, and Jakes goes right away to move the Minnesota Moose player right out from in front of the crease.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Mark Freer against Scott Sissons. We're at 5-on-5 hockey, and now Freer ready to take the draw. Top of the puck, and Sissons wins it. Back right point. Hackstall. Long shot. Gamble got a piece of it. It went behind him, but to the left of him and to the wide of the net. Now Freer can't clear. Had it popped away. Blair Atchingham in behind the net. Centered it. Worked away by Valmont. Puck came out in front, and Gamble says, I better hold on to this. Troy Gamble says, we'll get the whistle here, and he'll serve it up to the lineman and say, all right, let's face her off again. Face off will be in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Aeros' next action will be Las Vegas style. Right here from the summit, the Aeros and the Las Vegas Thunder. All beginning at 7 o'clock, and we'll have that game on the Aeros Broadcasting Network, which is ANZ Radio and HSE. Here is Steve Jakes now, right side. He'll shoot the puck back into Moose territory. Hackstall had it taken away by Farrell. Oh, Dirksen! Somehow an acrobatic save as he saw a slick stick handling Mark Freer coming down. He says, I better get back, and he was able to cover it up. Freer had a marvelous opportunity, but Dirksen says not.
Best bit of athleticism we've seen tonight by the former University of Wisconsin Badger. Freer looks like he's got a complete goal. There is no place to go, and the kid just simply puts the pad out. And notice how he outstretches the arm as we take yet another look at it. He is spread eagle down, and that one arm is out there, the left arm with a glove, keeping that puck from going in.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Dwayne Dirksen, who has picked up his play here in the second period. So the 2 towels he had over his head at intermission must have had something to help him out a bit here, as he's really played well in the second period. Larry Olam now turns the puck into Aero territory. Aero's trying to get back for it. Here's Mark Freer now. He popped it up left side for Arniel. It's chipped to center, and now Chitteroni in a race with Chris Miller, and he'll beat him to the puck. Chitteroni popped it in behind the Minnesota net. Out of it is Dirksen. He'll spin the pass to the near side. Knocked down by Freer. Pretty good tussle with Sissons. Now it is Mark Freer right side. Roll it down for Arniel. Trying to cut it out. He centered it. That hit Dirksen in play. is whistled down. 9:32 to go in the second period and a 3-1 hockey game.
Dirksen wants to say thank you also to Chris Miller, number 7, as defenseman, who helped him out there of a bind. Scott Arniel was our between period guest. 3 different times he goes back and forth before he lets loose with the puck. And Miller there with the ever-presence to try to stave off any error when they want to try to come and stick that puck in.
Face-off now will be to the left of Wayne Dirksen. Frank Serratori, the head coach of the Moose, former coach of the University of Denver. He said part of the deal was I want to be in charge of the hockey operations, so he is in charge of that, along with Glenn Sonmore, who's the director of player personnel. Yo gets a shot away, but they're kind of trying to find the right combination of players, but haven't been able to get her going. They have just 5 wins on the year. Here is Dave Christian with a long shot. Blocker save made by Troy Gamble. Here's Ivan Corvo, pinned along the boards by Tippett. Picked up Shank, base in the left circle now. Shank trying to cut into the slot, trying to gulp one in there. That was blocked by Townsend, who shouldered Shank to make it Chargarotsky, rather not Townsend. And the puck stays in Aero territory. Here is Christian now. Right wing boards, base the right circle, centered it. Campbell able to block that one. And now it is going to be taken by Yo. Can he clear it? No. Hackborn will try. Len Hackborn. Nice pass for Tippett. Tippett across the line. Tippett pulls up, looks for the pass. Here is Hackborn. A drive. And that's blocked by Shank. Now Curtis Hunt goes back to his own blue line. By Christian. And the puck goes up and out of play. 8:42 to go in the second period as we take time out. 3-1 Aeros back after this.
How'd you watch it?
When you're active, your body heat increases.
15 or 20 times.
You become dehydrated.
As soon as 30 minutes.
You lose fluids.
Up to 2 quarts of sweat per hour.
But more than anything else, you get thirsty. Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Drink it.
No other beverage enters the bloodstream faster and rehydrates you better.
Chug it.
Nothing quenches a deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
It's gotta be Gatorade.
Now welcome to the Cougars' home. It's got hardwood floors and a free throw zone. The cat's alive, he's walking tall. Just watch us play with that little round ball. There's one thing we guarantee you'll see.
Okay, fans, it's time to see Red play basketball. This season, we take on our Southwest Conference rivals and play some of the country's top-ranked national teams.
Come see Red.
For season tickets, call 743-9444.
Other games going on tonight in the IHL. Peoria is at Indianapolis. Cleveland is at Chicago. And in a Western Conference matchup, the San Diego Gulls taking on the Denver Grizzlies. Here it's a 3-1 hockey game. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner face off at center ice, won by the Moose, and Scott Humanuk shoots the puck into Aero territory. Gamble out of the net will slow. Now Kevin Grant pops the pass ahead for Young. Snaps for Maurice down the left side. A man to beat Humanuk. Maurice trying to circle away now. Pulls up left side. Nice pass. Kevin Grant shoots. And that was deflected away by Hawkins. Aeros worked that nicely, flooding the far side of the ice and then coming right back to Kevin Grant pitching right side. Now back at center ice. Aeros have got it. Clayton Young shoots the puck into Minnesota territory. Out of the net, Dirksen. He'll slow for Dean Kolstad, 6'6". Bangs the puck ahead, and here is Stefan Moran. At center now. Moran trying to make the move, but Kevin Grant able to work that away, and it's out to center. Here is Maurice. Nice lead pass for Townsend. Picks it up off a hop. Flying shoot! And Dirksen got a piece of another shot. Score! Mike Maurice says, Dirksen, you're out of place. I'm going to blast it into the open net. The Aeros now lead it 4-1. Big goal.
Maurice really deserved that. He had an excellent pass on the last rush down that when Kevin Grant went in, nothing came there, and just does a beautiful job.
I think the key is Dirksen gets a piece of the shot from Townsend right off the toe. Look at this. Right there, I think he may have gotten a piece.
And rebound so important to be alert as Maurice just lets it fly from the far side, and he is lying down there going wide, and I want to become a goaltender.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dirksen on that play ought to get charged for long distance services. He was way out of the cage
way out there.
Face off now at center ice in a 4-1 hockey game, and now that'll be enough for Dirksen. They've had enough of that, and Tom Draper will come in. You know, and it's too bad because even though he struggled struggled in the first period. I thought he came up here in the second period, played very well until that play there. So now Tom Draper will come in to replace him. Draper has a record of 1-4-1, a 4.06 goals against average, 87.2 on the save percentage. And this, with this pause here, gives me a chance to explain. Frank Pietrangelo had been playing very well for this hockey club until he broke his finger and is out 4 to 6 weeks. Pietrangelo at this time 3-6-1, but a 3.77 goals against average and an 88.3 save percentage. So that's a big loss when you're without Frank Pietrangelo. So now they'll have to go without him for 4 to 6 weeks. And now it's Tom Draper into the cage for the Minnesota Moose. They'll shoot the puck in Aero territory. Out of the net, Troy Gamble slows it for Jakes, and he'll turn it left to right. Jakes down, carries up the middle, turn it right side. Long lead pass for Mario Cittarone. Brings the puck in with Arniel. Cittarone centered Arniel, and it got behind him. That changed direction. Now, here is Freer for Arniel in the far corner. Bump by Miller. Rolls to Cittarone in behind the net. The Aeros have come back to take a 3-goal lead at 4-1. Arniel now trying to feather the puck away. Picked up by Hackstall now. Fireboards watched by Freer, and it's turned up by Scott Sissons now. His long lead pass broken up by Shagaransky, and it's worked back to the Moose blue line. Hackstall now shoots it into the Aero zone. I thought it was offside. They say no play on, but now the puck comes to center. The Aeros have a 2-on-2 break. Cittarone with Arniel. Here's Cittarone across the line, but that was rolled away. And now Action caught the Aero D up ice. Walks in, shoot, and Gamble got a toe on that. Oh, get a toe on me, baby, as Gamble was able to get a save on that. And play is whistled down as Mark Freer goes smoking into the net. And play will be halted with 6:58 left in the second period. Aeros lead at 4-1. Let's take a look. There is Mark Freer now.
He doesn't get credit for a goal.
No. Mark Freer now just cranks a big shot. Look at Gamble just get a toe on that, and then Freer, who was upended, goes sliding in after that.
Once again, the shot, great kick-out save by Troy Gamble. And it's important, too, to note that as we take a look at Troy Gamble, taking a break, some fresh water. Frank is not very happy right now as he's talking to the referee. But Draper doesn't get a shot like in baseball to come in, take a half-dozen pitches, get warm. He just stretches, and away we go.
A lot of it is that hockey is already a pretty long sport when it nails around the 3-hour mark, and if they kept changing goalies, especially in the days when the Chicago Blackhawks had Mike Keenan as the coach, they kept going between Belfour and Pang and all those goalies that they had. I mean, if they had to warm up every time they came in, you'd never get done. Off the face-off now, the Aeros have got it. Hackborn rolled it to the line, not out. Held in by Young. Get it to Corvo. Center to pass. That's overskated. Hackborn trying to clear it. And it's controlled by the Minnesota Moose. John Young rolled it in behind the net for Ivan Corvo. Watched by Valamont. Pinned along the boards. Carl trying to keep him contained, but he came out with a stuff shot, and Gamble lunged to get a blocker on that. And here's Carl Valamont again, right side. He'll roll it to the line, not out. Held in by Corvo. Ivan Corvo tapped in there by Hackborn, but it's rolled right back down. Shanks center one for Young. That's tipped away, and Yo rolls it for Brian Pellerin. Pellerin now looking for Mike Yo. He's overskated on the puck, and now the Moose turn it around left side. John Young across the blue line, had to go back at center and regroup. 6:17 left in the second period. Aeros lead by a score of 4-1. Curtis Hunt now in behind the net. He'll start the rush from left to right. Hunt, a pass misses Pellerin, and Dean Kolstad is there. Get it to Sean Williams. It rolled into Aero territory, and Kyle Valamont is back for Curtis Hunt. Now Lenny Hackborn shoots the puck into Minnesota territory with under 6 minutes to go in a 4-1 hockey game. As Pellerin unloads like a used trash bag on Sean Williams. What a hit. Play in the Aero zone. Now picked up by Williams. And he'll go to center ice. Pellerin imprinted him like a credit card along the boards. Now the puck picked up by the Moose. Here's a chance. Kolstad shoots, scores! Second goal of the game. Dean Kolstad. It's a 4-2 hockey game.
No one home on Kolstad as he lights it up for the second time. Cross ice pass, and no one comes out to challenge him.
Dean Kolstad, who had been in Frank Serratori's doghouse a little bit just for poor play, comes in now with 2 big goals.
Pass went right through the legs of Clayton Young, and the defenseman does not come out. As we take yet another look, right through the legs. Great passing there, and Shadorowski gets caught in no man's land. He finally sees it a little bit too late. Lack of communication on the part of the defenseman there. Oleg probably did not listen to what was being called out by his partner.
Face off now at center ice with 5:36 to go in the second period. Now the pocket at center and picked up Kevin Grant. Here is Grant for the Arrows. Lobs one ahead for Graham Townsend. Popped it into Moose territory. Clayton Young turns with a snapshot block. Now Larry Olam getting up to Sissons. Moving out center ice for Dave Christian. Shoots it into Arrow territory. Picked up by Gamble and cleared. And Maurice got it to the line. Not out. Hackstall. Long shot that changed direction. And Townsend able to chip it to the line. Not out. Larry Olam now trying to muscle it in there. Clayton Young's got him pinned along the boards. And finally back into Arrow territory for Kevin Grant. Clayton Young will be Barry Warner's guest in the second period intermission. Just his third game back after a shoulder separation. First degree nonetheless, and he came back in miraculous time too. Only a couple weeks missed. Normally those are like 4 to 6 weeks as well. So I guess you got to credit Jerry Mines, the trainer of the Arrows. He's unbelievable the way he works with the players in the medical side of things. Here's the puck back at Arrow territory. At the center ice, Mike Maurice sends it back into his own zone for Kevin Grant. Rolled it up the right side for Mario Chitteroni. Worked back into his own zone for check by Olam. Grant had to come back and pry the puck away, and he'll slice in behind his net and start the rush. Kevin Grant now up the left side for Shargorodsky. Rolled it to center, but that's blocked by Miller, but picked up by the Arrows. Here is a chance for Freer now. Freer right side pulls up top of the right circle. Now drifting into the slot, trying to work away from the check of Miller. Still with a puck. He'll roll it along the boards, and now it is Hackstall behind the net. Spanks it along the boards. Curtis Hunt couldn't hold it in. He'll go back to center with 4:08 to go, second period. Arrows lead at 4-2. Puck is into Moose territory. Draper out of the net. And here is Brad Miller now for the Minnesota Moose. Forecheck by Chitteroni. Now sets up behind the net. Pass came out to the right side for Hawkins. Went back into his own zone. Now it is picked up by Hackstall with 3:51 to go in the second period. Pass comes into Arrow territory. In there it is Williams trying to center it, but Valamont tossed it away from Hawkins. They go at it in the corner. They go shoulder to shoulder in there. Now along the boards in there Williams. He's pinned in there by Hackborn. Lenny Hackborn trying to work the puck away. It'll come to the line, not out. Hines held it in. Hackborn again, got it to the line, gave it away though. Miller with a drive. Gamble save, rebound, and he'll cover up and hold on. Let's take timeout. 3:28 to go in the second period. Arrows lead 4-2. More from the Summit right after this.
Where do you go when you want to have fun?
I'm out on the course every chance I get.
I play soccer and Little League and basketball and football.
I go fishing with my grandson.
But first, we go to Oshman Super Sports.
Where I can try all the newest clubs right here in the store.
This store is bigger than Lake Travis.
One store has all the fun. Oshman Super Sports.
For weeks, your Texas Ford dealers have been stocking up with new cars and trucks for the 95 sales drive. And they didn't bring just any trucks. They brought F-150s with 2.9% financing. 2.9% APR can lower your monthly payments over $50 a month. That's over $600 a year. Almost $2,500 over 48 months. But this offer is only for a limited time, so see your Texas Ford dealer.
Face off to the left of Gamble. Hey, be sure to stay with us in the second period intermission. You know, a lot of people want to know how to get some of this great Arrow wear. And if you stay with us in the second intermission, we'll not only show you some of it, we'll show you how to get it. So that's coming up in the second period intermission as another bullet by Kolstad. This guy thinks he's Clint Eastwood. He's got the gun loaded all night tonight, saying, "Welcome to my town, boy." Here is Dean Kolstad now behind the net. Kolstad has got 2 goals tonight on some pretty good shots. Tell you what, get that 6-shooter loaded up, baby, as Corvo now cuts in, but a nice defensive play by Shargorodsky, and I can't believe they're going to call this. The key here is if we've got this on the replay, the rule is if you play the puck first, it's not a penalty, and that's the key. Did Oleg Shargorodsky play the puck first, or did he hit Sean Williams, or Corvo rather? As Corvo comes in, we'll look at it. Lunging. Oh, that is not a penalty.
No. Oleg Shargorodsky does an outstanding job there of playing the puck. There was no slashing. There was no tripping once again. He's out there in front. If you're going to trip, the skates are going to go out first, and then the head is going to go forward. That was not the case.
That's what Dave Tippett's asking Dennis LaRue, the referee, who, quite frankly, has called an outstanding game, I felt, so far tonight. He's let them play, and that particular one, I guess maybe from his angle, he felt that he didn't play the puck first. So the face-off to the left side of Troy Gamble, and the Arrows back on the penalty killing unit. Here is Scott Humanick, right side. Get it down the right side for John Young. Getting set. Young working back and forth at the hash marks. Top of the slot. Humanick, one-time shot blocked. Loose in front, and the Arrows are there to get it down the ice.
Curtis Hunt and Kevin Grant doing an excellent job out there. As Kevin now comes off and gets a look at it come off and get him. Now he's going to stay on the ice.
Here is John Young now. He'll turn it off to center ice. Young through the neutral zone. Worked away by Tippett. Stays with the puck. Now Young across the line again. Starting the power play with a minute and a half remaining in it. Young rolled it along the boards. Far side. Stefan Moran has got it for Minnesota. Hash marks to and a bad play of Humanuk to miscommunicate. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Scott Humanuk goes back as the Aeros make some changes now. Pass at center ice for Stefan Moran. Tries to swing it around Freer. Now Humanuk rolls it into the Moose zone for John Young. Tipped it ahead. Corvo. He's got Christian in front, but can't center it to him. Now it is Curtis Hunt. Gave the puck away. It's John Young. Base of the right circle. And again, Humanuk is anticipating more going to the top of the slot as opposed to staying home at his point. And twice the puck has come down the ice. Now at center, Moran. Right wing board. He rolled it ahead for John Young. Hits the line. Roll it to Danny Shank. Cross ice pass. Just behind Moran, but he centered it to Christian. Back to the line. Shank a drive. Take that off the post. And the rebound comes back to Moran. Right wing boards. Now base of the right circle. Moran sets it up. Young. Top of the slot. Humanuk. One time shot deflected down by Shank and wide of the net. Here is Christian now for Shank. And he jams it along, but play will be halted. I think the puck was hit with a high stick. And if that is the call, bring the faceoff all the way back down into your own zone. When you're on the power play, if you hit the puck with a high stick in your opponent's attacking zone there, that means the faceoff, it's like an icing call. It goes all the way back down into your own zone. If it was at an even strength situation, then you just bring it out to center ice. 1:35 left in the second. 4-2. The Aeros lead it.
And Troy Gamble has said that music to the ears of any goaltender. Clink, clink, clunk. Whichever one it was, when that puck hits the post, it sounds awfully good.
Face off now in the circle to the left side of Tom Draper.
Members of the Adam Gordon fan club out in front of us tonight.
Mike Maurice, Mario Chitteroni with Carl Valamont and Kevin Grant. Still 31 seconds left to kill here on this Minnesota Moose power play. And the Moose will bring out Sean Williams. They'll have Todd Hawkins and Scott Sissons with a defensive tandem of Humanuk and Dean Kolstad. Top of the puck, and the Moose have got it. Here's Kolstad behind the net. Worked it out to the far side for Humanuk. He did get it through Chitteroni. Hawkins rolled it into the Aero zone. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. He'll play it along, but it was popped away. Loose in front, and finally Maurice able to clear it. Gamble, he makes you kind of nervous when he holds that puck. He says, hey, let's just get everybody really nervous, hold it a little bit, and then play it. And it worked. Here's the puck picked up by Williams now. Romps to the center ice. Williams across the line now. Rolled it 5-4 after it. Here's Danny Shank. Racing the right circle. Finds Hawkins. Looks in front. Sends to Hackstall. Line. Shoots. Whistle line. Rebound in front, but it rolled behind the net. Penalty over teams at 5 aside. Hawkins walked right in that goal with a shot. Gamble a save. A rebound. Gamble another save. Pinball near side. Kevin Grant trying to clear it. Muscle along the board. Shank goes at it. Now it's Chitteroni. He'll backhand it down the ice. Little check up in the far corner and rolled all the way down. No icings it. Held up right before the end line. 39 seconds left. Puck tipped into Aero territory. This is icing. Jakes goes back. He'll play the puck. And play is whistled down with 33 seconds remaining in this second period. Aeros lead at 4-2, and again, stay with us. Second period intermission, all kinds of things. We'll chat with Clayton Young, his third game back, has a goal tonight. Barry Warner will be standing by with him. We'll recap the scoring, show you some highlights. And again, I know everybody wondering, how do I get that great looking Aero merchandise, that Aero wear? Well, I'm going to show you how. Coming up at the second period intermission. Do not go away. Tell you what, I think I'd like to have one of those jerseys. I mean, $79.95 gives you that fresh look like you've been playing. Always wanted to look like that. All right, we're back to action. 26 seconds to go. Aeros have got it. Mike Yo for Graham Townsend. Popped the puck into the Minnesota zone. Back goes Hackstall. Along the boards by Clayton Young. Young trying to work it free, looking for Yo. Now Young again. In their base of the right circle. Out comes along the boards, and it's picked up by Hackstall. And he'll push it up the right side and all the way down in Aero territory where it checks up for Steve Jakes. 2 seconds left, and that'll do it as the buzzer sounds, ending an outstanding second period. A much better second period, I think, when you look at it on both teams' perspective. The Minnesota Moose getting 2 goals, the Aeros getting 1, so actually Minnesota winning that period, scoring twice to the Aeros 1, and a lot of period, and that sets up an outstanding third period. 4-2, the Aeros lead it, and we'll have a chat with Clayton Young next on the Aeros Broadcasting Network. It's a 4-2 hockey game. The Aeros lead it here in the second period. Welcome back, Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. Well, a few weeks ago against the same Minnesota Moose hockey team, Clayton Young took a pretty serious shoulder injury. This was in Minneapolis, in St. Paul, against the Moose, and people thought with the first-degree shoulder separation that he'd be out 4 to 6 weeks, but no, not Clayton Young, not with his work ethic in the gym. He battled back. He has 2 goals in 3 games, including 1 tonight, and he's also standing by with Barry Warner. Barry?
Clayton, what is this, Clayton? Are you Superman or what? Most guys that suffer the type of shoulder sprain that you did are out for a month and a half, maybe 2 months. What prompted your return?
I don't know. I just hate watching. I sit up in the stands and watch a game, and I just can't stand it. So I worked really hard, and the trainers did a really good job, and I got back early.
Admit it. You bugged Terry Ruskowski and Jerry Mines so much. You were going crazy, weren't you? You pestered them. When am I going to get back in?
Yeah, I think they're pretty well sick of me, so they had to pretty well put me in. But I just go out there. I came back early and just trying to help the team the best I can.
Clayton, is it special for you moving up along with Terry from Columbus to the I?
Yeah, I think so. He's the first guy that really shown some faith in me and in this level. So I'm gonna go out there and give it the all, not only for myself but for him, because he stuck his neck out for me. So I think I owe that to him to go out there and do my best.
Clayton, great play there on the 3-0 goal. A good job by Hackborn on the face-off to Oleg at the point. What is it like when it works like that, right from the face-off, and all the guys get involved?
That was a pretty easy one, actually. Oleg made a great shot, and Hack just gave me a great one-time pass over. I had the whole empty net to put it in, so those are the great ones. Got an easy goal like that, it takes a lot off you.
Holiday weekend, so many folks had friends and family come in, and I know that your folks weren't able to come in, but they've got a dish. They're watching the game, aren't they?
Yeah, Mom and Dad bought a dish back in Medicine Hat. I'd like to say hi to them, my grandma and my sister back in Medicine Hat, and my brother and all his friends in the High Run Club.
Okay, Medicine Hat. What's the temperature up there right now? What do you think?
It's probably, it's late there. I'd say probably a good minus 10 to 15 at least.
Is that hard for players like yourself to get accustomed to when they come down to a southern city?
Not really. The humidity was pretty bad at the start, but right now it's beautiful weather. It's 80 or anywhere from 70 to 80 every day, and the humidity's down because of winter now, so it's beautiful down here. Golf all year round. It's great.
Up by 2 goals. I know what Terry's going to tell you guys right now. You got to play like you're 2 goals down, correct?
Oh, for sure. We got to come out and win that third period. They started taking it to us the last part of that second period. So I think if we come out and hopefully get a quick goal, we can bury them early.
We'll go back in and get a little bit of orange and a little bit of water and get ready for period number 3. And we'll have more Aeros hockey right here live from the Summit in Houston, Texas after this.
Now,
congratulations. As a cable subscriber, you have chosen to succeed. You have chosen to broaden your mind and multiply your sources for immediate news and information. Because you want the convenience of your local forecast every 5 minutes. Because you need to know the in-depth information concerning the weather. And because we can give you around-the-clock coverage in severe weather situations, you have chosen the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Noel Furniture has lost its lease at 5346 Westheimer, near the Galleria. Rather than move this inventory, Noel is drastically reducing all merchandise at a savings of up to 70%. Our loss is your gain. We must sell all in-stock merchandise at this location. Come in now and take advantage of this situation and save on famous name furniture. Shop Noel Furniture at the Galleria for once-in-a-lifetime savings of up to 70%.
December on HSE. The Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs take the court looking to stuff a few stockings. Ho, ho, ho. Then the college kids get a break. A fast break from winter with the Kraft Rainbow Classic. The high schoolers prepare to jingle a few bells in the 5A championships. Next, the Aeros take a glide on the pond and plan on sending a few presents down the chimney. Unwrap a bundle of sports this December on HSE.
Get the lottery tickets. Get the lottery tickets. Everyone's all excited about playing the new scratch game from the Texas Lottery. So guess where I'm headed? What happened to giving someone a bathrobe or a pair of fluffy slippers? I could use some fluffy slippers. My feet are killing me.
With 4 new tickets and a chance at $25,000, everyone's playing Holiday Game from the Texas Lottery.
Let me have a couple of million holiday game tickets and, oh yeah, throw in one of those beef jerkies.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. A 4-2 hockey game here in the second period intermission, and definitely a period that was won by the Moose, but still not a bad period for the Aeros either.
No, not at all, especially the way the Aeros got it, made it 3-0 with that great power play goal that Clayton and I talked about in typical Clayton Young fashion. He passes the credit around to his teammates on that. And Kolstad, of course, made it a real hockey game.
Well, this Cowboy rides into town with a couple of goals, and we'll take a look at the first one here as we look at the first period highlights. And it is a big bullet. Dean Kolstad, as he takes a pass from John Young, just boom, right there, top shelf, over the left shoulder of Gamble. And like that, they're on the board. It's 3-1 Aeros, but the Aeros come back. Where is Dirksen there as Mike Maurice will jam it into the open net, and he put the Aeros back up by 3 at 4-1. But here's that Cowboy again, and he's wearing a sweater number 29, Dean Kolstad. And he will come back. Look at the Aeros flood the near side of the ice. That leaves Kolstad wide alone, and he goes short side on Gamble. Gamble came out to cut down the angle about 5 feet, but Kolstad says, I don't need much, and he pops it in there. And that's where we stand right now on a 4-2 hockey game, Barry. And like you said, a 2-goal lead, very dangerous going into the third.
Very dangerous also because they got Dirksen out. And let's face it, he really had his moments. And Draper, a stand-up goaltender, very steady. Now he's got his legs under him, so to speak, and he's ready for 20 more minutes of hockey.
Okay, when we return, we'll take a look at the period stats. That's next. 4-2. The Aeros lead it. We're in the second period intermission. We'll have more after this on the Aeros Broadcasting Network. Do it!
Of the game is speed. Flying on steel blades across an arena of ice, stopping on a dime. Houston has a new way of flying. They're called the Aeros, and they're Houston's newest pro team. They'll be earning their wings every day. Bringing you thrills and chills will be their goal.
Las Vegas battles Houston, Wednesday night at 7, live on HSE.
What if there were only 3 seconds left on the clock? I'd call for the ball. We all know they'd give it to me. I'd be double covered, but that wouldn't stop me. I'd jump up and snatch that rock. I'd eyeball the hoop. Guys would be clawing at me. I'd plant, turn, fire. Naturally, a swish.
Oh, yeah. Abdul Rauf and Maxwell know a few things about beating the buzzer.
Yeah, that's what I do. Want to see it again? I still have 2 seconds left.
Nuggets, Rockets, Tuesday night at 7:30, live on HSE. 'Tis the season for sports this December on HSE. The Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs take the court looking to stuff a few stockings. Ho, ho, ho. Then the college kids get a break, a fast break from winter with the Kraft Rainbow Classic. The high schoolers prepare to jingle a few bells in the 5A championships. Next, the Aeros take a glide on the pond and plan on sending a few presents down the chimney. Unwrap a bundle of sports this December on HSE.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. We're in the second period intermission, moments away from the third period action. The Aeros leading by a score of 4-2. And let's take a look at the scoring in that second period, brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. And there you look at Clayton Young getting a goal, but actually before that, it would be Dean Kolstad getting the first goal of that period, and then Clayton Young would come back. Clayton Young would get it in the second period. My apology there on the power play, followed by Dean Kolstad at 4:25. Young and Corvo getting the assist. And the third goal was scored by Mike Maurice into that open net at 12:05. Townsend and Young getting the assist. And then Dean Kolstad came back at 14:24 with Stefan Moran and Todd Hawkins getting the assist. And that's how we stand 4-2 after 2 periods. And looking at the second period stats, and it'll show that Minnesota did have a better period, but the shots are even at 22 apiece. But the Moose had 15 in that second period to the Aeros 9. Saves, well, Troy Gamble has now made 20 saves in this hockey game compared to 18. Most of those belong to Dwayne Dirksen, although I think Tom Draper may have 1 or 2 of those 18 saves. Power plays, the Aeros are 2 for 2 on the power play. Actually, I think they should go to 2 of 3 on the power play. And the Minnesota Moose now go 0 for 3 on the power play. Penalties, 3 for the Minnesota Moose, 6 minutes, 4 for the Aeros, 8 minutes. It's been a relatively tame game, Barry.
Very tame. One reason why? I think these guys are tired from this arduous travel schedule they've had. They got to save their stamina right now for doing the things that people really come here. Those of us that love the game of hockey, the stick handling, the hard hitting. We've seen plenty of that tonight. And, of course, the goal scoring, which we've seen 4 times for the Houston Aeros.
You guys like Aeroware? We'll talk about that when we return. Our score after 2 periods of play from the Summit. It's the Houston Aeros 4 and the Minnesota Moose 2. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Summit in Houston. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. 4-2 our score. And I know you're sitting there at home saying, I got to see this Aeroware one more time. Well, I'm such a nice guy. Let's take another look at it. Again, announcing Aeroware, the official Aero ensemble for all you Arrowheads. And this is an Aeros cap. It's available in 2 colors, all white or white with a green bill. It's made of high quality wool and adjustable, one size fits all. Complete your Aero ensemble. This official Aero t-shirt is also available. It's in white or ash gray. The shirt is 100% cotton and made in the USA by Fruit of the Loom. No, there are no grapes or apples dancing around there. Just t-shirts are available in 3 sizes, medium, large, and extra large. Put together your ensemble now, darling. It's only a very simple phone call, 1-800-423-2121 to order. $19.95 for the Aero lid, $13.95 for the t-shirt, plus $3.95 shipping and handling. Credit cards are accepted, and satisfaction is assured with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Join the Aero Force today. Call 1-800-423-2121 and make sure you ask for your Aeroware. Again, $19.95 for the lid and $13.95 for the t-shirt, $3.95 shipping and handling. Simply smashing. Do you like it, Bear?
I love it. You can do a kip like that guy is right there wearing the Wisconsin Badger sweatshirt and, of course, his Aeroware chapeau.
And there's a look at the away jersey. We promoted the home jersey in the first period, but the home jersey is just the white. They look exactly the same, but I'll tell you what, it's some fine souvenirs.
And you know who wants to wear one of those? Mario Welly of the Houston Rockets wants me to order one with his number and name on it.
All right, let's take a look at the Coors Light upcoming schedule brought to you by Coors Light. And, of course, the Aeros back at it Wednesday. The Las Vegas Thunder are in town at 7 o'clock. Russ Small will be back to do color with me on that particular night. Barry Warner will be prancing around the stands. That's all coming up at 7 o'clock. And then the Aeros are back on the road. They're in Kansas City, 7:30 p.m. Friday. That's radio only. Also radio only back here at the Summit, 7 o'clock this Saturday, KNUZ Radio. And by the way, that night, Saturday, when the Detroit Vipers come into town, they're going to have Jake and Elwood Blues here, the Blues Brothers coming in. So get your tickets. And, of course, you can get your tickets by stopping by any Ticketmaster outlet, call the Summit box office, the Aerodrome, or if you have any questions, just give the Aeros a call at 627 AERO. And look at that fine-looking hat as the Aeros now returning to the ice. And I'll tell you, I know we talk about this quite a bit, but the start of this third period, the Aeros lost that second period, 2-1. The Moose scoring the 2 goals, and I think this next goal is very huge. We've talked about the 2-goal lead is very dangerous, and I think you made an excellent comment, Barry, when you talked to Clayton Young saying, do you play this period like you're 2 goals behind?
They've got to come out with fire, and the first 5 minutes of this period are so important. We have seen a tendency sometimes for the Aeros to kind of slow down and let a club come back into the game. Cannot do that.
Now let's take a look at the standings. First in the Central Division, led by the mighty Milwaukee Admirals at 15-4-3. They've got 33 points. The Atlanta Knights, with their win last night over the Aeros, Arrows jump to 27 at 13-8-1 Kansas City. Under 500 at 9-10-1. Then you've got the two teams at it tonight. Houston at 8-11-2 with 18 points. Minnesota at 5-11-4. The Arrows had their two-game winning streak snap last night against Atlanta, but trying to get back on the winning track. A win tonight would put them 3-1 on a really tough schedule. 4 games in 5 nights, and they're 20 minutes away from doing that. Now we look at the Southwest Conference, and they're led by the Phoenix Roadrunners at 14-10, 28 points, followed by Denver at 13-6, Las Vegas at 12-10, San Diego at 500 at 10-10-2. But they have really improved after a very slow start. And how about those Soviet Wings? They're gone now for about a month, or not even that. About another 2 weeks, they'll be back on their road trip, and I think it's December 13th. They're here to take on the Arrows, and I'm going to make Barry Warner pronounce all the names for the Soviet Wings.
Oh, you're brutal. Just because I keep butchering Oleg's last, I'm going to start calling him Oleg and knock off the last name.
Let's switch to the Eastern Conference now in the Northern Division, and the Detroit Vipers, who will be here Saturday at 13-6-3, tied with Kalamazoo at 12-4-5, both with 29 points. Chicago Wolves at 11-8-3 with 25 points, followed by the Cleveland Lumberjacks at 8-9-1. Here we go. We're back to action. When we get a chance, we'll look at the other division there in the Eastern Conference, but right now we're back to action. 4-2. The Arrows lead it, and we're underway. Moose with the puck, trailing by 2, getting it out to center ice. It's Chris Miller now trying to bring it ahead. Kevin Grant blocked that, and back goes Todd Hawkins to his own blue line. Check by Arniel, roll it far side, and here come the Minnesota Moose. Moran, center ice, Sean Williams trying to get it back for Hawkins. That's intercepted by Arniel, gives it to Freer, long shot. Draper got a piece of it, didn't know quite where the rebound was, but it bounced in front of him. Now Freer again, base of the left circle, cuts behind the net, centered it, and there was Draper down and able to cover up. Let's take a look finally at the other division we wanted to cover in the IHL, and the Midwestern Division sizes up like this with the Peoria Rivermen at 12-8-2 with 26 points. Cincinnati at 11-8-2 with 24 points, followed by the Indianapolis Ice, who are in action tonight, by the way, against Peoria, I believe. 10-9-2 with 21 points, followed by the Fort Wayne Comets. And here's an interesting story. They're 7-12-2 with 16 points, but this is a team I think everybody should watch. I think after January, when we get into January and February, this is a team that is going to be right near the top. They didn't play for the Turner Cup for nothing. And I think Colin Chin will get that hockey team rolling when he starts picking up there. So watch for the Fort Wayne Comets in the second half of the season for sure. Puck back in Arrow territory. Here is Dave Tippett now trying to muscle along Brad Miller. Tippett's got it. He's jammed along the boards, and the puck squirms to the near side for Shargorodsky. Rolled it ahead to center. That's batted back by the Moose, but Yo has got it. Comes to center left side. Rolled the puck into the Minnesota zone. Out of the net, Tom Draper spins the puck along the boards. It'll come near side. Yo digs it out. Here is Mike Yo. Rolled it down. Tippett a drive. That is blocked by Brad Miller. Now along the near side, shanking it out to center. Here is Carl Valamont now. He'll shoot the puck in. Out of the net, it is Tom Draper. And here come the Moose left to right. Out at center ice, John Young pokes the puck ahead. Pokes the puck ahead. And that's intercepted by Clayton Young and rolled it back into the Moose zone. 18 and a half to go here in the third. 4-2, the Arrows lead. Moose have the puck now, and again the Arrows line up like they're going to do that neutral zone trap, and they are going to do it. Graham Townsend trying to force to the far side, and he does a great job to intercept the puck. Rolled it back down. Here's a chance now for Clayton Young, base of the right circle. He's jammed along the boards by Hines. The Arrows have used that neutral zone trap very effectively. They've trapped the Moose, and they had trouble getting it out of there. Now it is Maurice trying to fire one in front, but Hines has got it. We're going to get a penalty coming up here, holding. I guess if I had to try and explain in simple terms what a neutral zone trap is watch, in this particular case, Graham Townsend, he doesn't actively pursue the puck. If you're an active forechecker, you go in, you pursue the puck, you take him on the boards and try and force the pass. What he's doing is he's passively allowing the defenseman to carry the puck up ice, but he's trying to direct it where he wants to, where the Arrows D can pinch, and then that means that the defense or whoever has the puck are going to make a bad play, and that's what happened in that particular case, and it turns into this penalty.
Well, you force them into the angles, and this is a system that the Florida Panthers used so well in their inaugural year.
Roger Nielsen in general, I mean, when he was the coach of the Rangers, used it as well.
And until a guy named Mark Messier said, that's not the way I want to play hockey. And you know what happened there? Nielsen got placed on waivers.
Face off in the Arrows zone. They're on the power play for 2 minutes, holding to John Young, and the Arrows will go back to start in their own zone on the power play after losing the face-off. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. He'll slow it to Carl Valamont, and he'll start the rush from right to left. Here comes Carl Valamont now. Valamont, a pass to center for Scott Arniel. He'll tip the puck into Minnesota territory, tip it down the left wing, trying to move it through Hextall, tip it for Freer lost the puck, and the Moose able to clear it. Dean Kolstad rolled it ahead. Now a chance as Williams trying to get by Arniel, and down he goes, and that's going to be a penalty on Scott Arniel. He did everything he could to get him from going any further, and then finally it's just too much as Williams went down, and that'll do it for the Aero power play.
When you got a breakaway going like that, that's one of those that you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, and Scott Arniel tries to avoid, and then there's Benz in there with the stick.
So now that'll do it. We'll go 4-on-4 for a minute and a half, and then the Moose will get a 29-second power play. 17:34 to go in the third. And Scott Arniel doesn't take a lot of penalties. He's a very heady player, but he'll pick up a minor there, and he will sit in the penalty box. You know, coming into this game, talking about Scott Arniel and his penalty minutes. Into this game, he has just 16 minutes, so this will give him numbers 17 and 18 in the penalty minute department. And he'll sit in the bin for a pair, and the face-off now to the right of Troy Gamble. 2 minutes up on the board to Arniel. Here is Dave Christian with Daniel Shank, Larry Olam, and Dave Hackstall defensively for the Minnesota Moose. Aeros have got the puck. Here's Steve Jakes trying to shake off it. Shank check, he ain't going to do it. The Moose blast a shot that goes in, but it's going to be waved off as Jakes drew the penalty. Thank goodness for that, because Christian ripped a bullet, and Shank will go to the box. So now there won't be a power play for Minnesota, and look at Jakes here draw this penalty. In behind, just comes out, makes a good decision to come out with it, but Shank hits the lumber in there, and down he goes.
Why is it that every time I see Shank, I think of Eddie Shack, as that shot was just blasted? Eddie Shack, who played with the Rangers, played several years in the NHL, played like a wild man at times, and that's what Shank has been doing for a good portion of the night. He's gotten away with carrying that stick up high.
So the Aeros will go 4-on-3 now for a minute 24. And then they will be 4-on-4, both squads, for 29 seconds. And then the Aeros will get the remainder of the penalty that comes up to Danny Shank. Top of the puck, Aeros on the man advantage. Here is Oleg Shagarodsky now. We'll go 4-on-3, lots of open ice. Shagarodsky right to left, pass left side for Carl Valamont. Leads this hockey team in plus-minus with a plus 11. Now in behind the net. It'll come to the near side, plus 9. Now the puck, Clayton Young, left side, looking for Mike Maurice. Hash marks to Valamont, left point, getting set. Line shoots right on Draper, save. The rebound, and Shagarodsky fanned on it. Roll it into the near corner. Aeros still on the power play here for another 53 seconds. 4-on-3 man advantage. Maurice now to the top of the slot for Carl Valamont, getting set. Valamont now cycles along the right point as Maurice kicks to the top of the slot. Rolled it down, though. Shagarodsky pinching. Get it down for Clayton Young, base of the right circle. Now Shagarodsky getting set. Winds it over. Valamont cuts in, center the pass, and the shot ripped wide by Maurice. It's picked up by Christian and shot down the ice. Aeros moved the puck around the perimeter, got a good shot, but missed the net. Now the Aeros making some changes. Here is Shagarodsky. Pass for Steve Goslin. Carries it over the Moose blue line. That was stood up by Hackstall. Now into the corner, Dave Tippett. First one there. Base of the left circle. Aeros with 15 left on this first part of the power play, and then we'll go 4-on-4 for another half minute. Now Hackborn trying to cut in behind the net. Glenn Hackborn, base of the right circle for the Aeros. Get it back. Shagarodsky, top of the slot for Goslin. Winds. Now center the pass. That's broken up by Williams and cleared down the ice. So the first part of this power play is over, and in 29 seconds, the Aeros will be back on another power play at 5-on-4 after Arniel's penalty is over. 15:54 to go in the third, and a 4-2 hockey game. Aeros lead it. Here's Len Hackborn in his zone. Cross-ice pass for Shagarodsky. Hits the line. Oleg Shagarodsky left wing boards. Pulls up still with the puck. Oleg now circles back left side. Cuts in. Launched a centering pass. Blocked. Chitteroni couldn't get the shot away. And now Moran comes to center ice. Stefan Moran. He will backhand a pass to the left side for Miller. Now Arniel's penalty is over. 5-on-4 for the Aeros. Here is a pass to center. Picked up Arniel. Couldn't find the handle. Now high. He'll shoot it back to the near side. Oleg Shagarodsky now rolled it ahead for Freer. Back at the neutral zone. Gives to Shagarodsky. His pass intercepted by Blair Atcham. Now the penalty's all over and teams at 5 aside. Here comes Blair Atcham now into the Aero zone. Cuts right in on goal. Lets the shot go. And there was Gamble to make the save. Now on the near side, Arniel able to clear it to center. It'll go into Moose territory. Out of the net, Draper. He's able to clear it. And now it's picked up by Danny Shank. It's Shank to center. Booms one right on upstairs on Gamble, and he got a blocker on it, and he will hold on with 14:52 to go in the third. Let's take time out. The Aeros lead at 4-2. More action from the Summit when we return after this.
It's time for friends to fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
And people are friendlier than ever. Just make reservations at least a day in advance and buy your round-trip ticket at Southwest's regular low unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you, free, anywhere we fly.
Joe! Dad, what do you think?
Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
It's time for the Texas Lottery Winner's Circle. A hats-off salute to everyone who plays the game of Texas. These lucky Texans are already winning, so visit your local Texas Lottery retailer. Play the game of Texas, and maybe we'll see you in the Winner's Circle.
Him just gets by the Aero defense, gets by the forward, and just lets one rip. And Troy Gamble takes it for the team right in the belly.
Puck is in the Aero zone, leading 4-2, and the puck back at the right point. It is Scat Sissons, popped it into Aero territory, but rejected by Young. It comes back to center for Chris Hines. He'll shoot it in for Minnesota. On the near board, Sissons trying to work it away from Valamont. Sissons doing a fine job mucking it up in the corner. There's skate to skate in there. Valamont and Sissons pinned up like a poster. Now it's picked up by Atchingham trying to stuff one on in front, but there was Jakes to jam it away to the far side. Townsend trying to bat it out of there. Can't do it, but he's got it back. He'll send it pass to Maurice at center. Mike Maurice now, lead pass picked away, and the Moose at center now have to go back into their own zone. Here is Sissons now for Atchingham. Hits the line. Atchingham turning right wing boards. Lets a long shot go. It goes wide of the net. Townsend lets it go to center. And here come the Aeros 2-on-2. Jakes crossed it up with Maurice. Nice play. Maurice cuts in, shoots. Blocked by Kolstad. He's had a great game tonight. His best game that I have seen in the 5 we've played the Moose. And this is by far his best game. Granted, he's also got 2 goals that help make it easy to decide that. But he has played a solid defensive game for the Minnesota Moose. Here is Dean Kolstad now in behind his net. 13.5 to go here in the 3rd period. And the Moose trailing by a score of 4-2. Pocket center ice. Kolstad worked away by Hackthorne. That neutral zone trap doing a good job. The Aeros just not giving him much. Now the puck flipped at center. It's popped away by Curtis Hunt. Now Tippett trying to muscle it ahead. He's jammed in there by Kolstad. On the far board, finally the puck comes to center ice. Curtis Hunt hits the line now. Hunt on the end of the slot just gently rolls it into the corner. It's picked up by Hackthorne in behind the net. He's jammed off the puck. Yo in there to have a look at it, but it's slammed by Draper and out to center ice. Here come the Moose. Hewing up. Cross-ice pass, a bit of a hand grenade, and Dave Tippett's got to jump on that and cover it up and get it out of the zone. Can't quite do it. Second effort finally kicked out of there. All on the boards now. It's Tippett. Boy, he's a hard man to keep down. He's been knocked down a couple of times, staying in there, battling and grinding, and finally he wins that battle as it's picked up by Kevin Grant. He shoots it into Moose territory. Out of the net, Tom Draper. Here is Chris Miller now. Miller up the left side, forecheck by Freer, trying to move it ahead, and Freer works the puck away. Here is Freer, rolled it into Minnesota territory. Hackstall able to clear it out to center. Now back into Minnesota territory. Moran sends it up for Chris Miller. Left wing board, sized it by Ciannamoni, and he's jammed into the fireboard. Hackstall takes a shoulder from Freer, and then gets Freer in there with a little of the how's my glove in your face go. Now the puck back into Aero territory with 12:15 to play in the 3rd and a 4-2 hockey game. Here is Arniel now. Rumps to center ice. Arniel shoots the puck in. That's batted down by Miller. Hackstall plays it. That's a high stick. And they'll bring the face off to center ice. Let's take time out. 8 minutes gone in the 3rd. Aeros lead 4-2. We'll have more after this.
When you're active, your body heat increases 15 or 20 times. You become dehydrated.
As soon as 30 minutes,
you lose fluids.
Up to 2 quarts of sweat per hour.
But more than anything else, you get thirsty. Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Drink it.
No other beverage enters the bloodstream faster and rehydrates you better.
Chug it.
Nothing quenches a deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
It's gotta be Gatorade.
Attention all Aggie fans. Relive the greatest moments in Texas A&M football history with Aggies, a century of football tradition. Follow the incredible journey of the tradition-rich A&M football program, the 12-man, legendary coach Dana X. Bible, Heisman Trophy winner John David Crow, and more. The whole story of Texas A&M football at your fingertips. Call 1-800-769-8843 to order this once-in-a-lifetime publication right now. Gig 'em, Aggies.
Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner here from the Summit in Houston. 4-2 hockey game. The Aeros lead it, 12:08 to play. Face-off between Clayton Young and Dave Christian, and Christian wins the draw. And now it is Chris Hines. He'll drift back in behind his net. Start the rush from left to right. Hines now sends a pass to the right side for Dave Christian. He'll send it back for Hines as he brings it to center ice. Rolled it into Aero territory, but back is Shargorodsky. Now he's jammed off the puck by Sissons. Goes into Aero territory. Valamon on his horse will ride it down to pick up the puck and send it near center. Back is Sissons along the right wing boards, trying to fire it along. It's picked up by Valamon and shot to center ice. Carl Valamon has been one of the best defensemen, I think, for the Aeros here steadily in the last month or so as the puck goes up and out of play, and play is whistled down. But Carl Valamon, as you know, we talked about, leads this hockey team in plus minus, and I had mentioned that it was a +9. I'm finally getting my stats corrected here, that it is a +8 coming into tonight's game. But he has been, I think, the steadiest defenseman for the Aeros.
He's been so consistent. He's not a guy who's going to fight. He is a guy who will take the body and make excellent decisions. Excellent with the puck, and it's no coincidence that when he's on the ice most of the time, and number 25 Oleg is dressing, that they're together. They are roommates, and he has helped the Americanization of the young kid from the Moscow Dynamo.
Now the puck back into Minnesota territories. We're back to action, and Tom Draper comes out of the net. And here come the Minnesota Moose. It's picked up by Stefan Moran. Pass to the left side for Humanuk. Watched by Pellerin. The Aeros are back, and now Kolstad jumps on the loose puck, sends it ahead for Sean Williams across the line. He'll roll it to Hawkins into the near corner. Hawkins now met by Curtis Hunt. Finally, Mike Yo tipped it to center, but Hackborn can't catch up to it. But now it comes over to a breaking Brian Pellerin. Lines with his shot, but he popped it into the near corner. Puck picked up by the Moose. Humanuk able to clear it down the ice. Curtis Hunt at his own blue line. Pass up the right side for Kevin Grant. Jammed the puck in, but that was worked away. Now back goes Kevin Grant to his own blue line. Grant roll the puck to the near side for Chris Hunt. Jammed it to center ice for Len Hackborn. And now Brian Pellerin steamrolling into the Moose zone, trying to get around Kolstad. Dean will wrap him up and push him into the corner there. Pellerin still trying to kick and squirm and finally work the puck free, but it comes to the left side for Hawkins. Todd Hawkins, pass out to center ice for Stefan Moran. He'll hit the Aero blue line. Moran cuts it over for Hawkins. Hawkins skates fished out by Jake So. 10:22 to go in the third. Aeros by 2. Here is Yo now. Spins the puck away. There was Moran to knock it down. Base of the right circle. Here is Moran. Tipped it back. Larry Olam sent it a pass, but that goes wide. Now it is Moran. Jammed it along the boards. Corvo. Ivan Corvo from Minnesota. In behind the cage. Getting set. Centered that pass, but that was deflected away. Now on the far boards. It's jumped on by Pellerin. Aeros have a 3-on-1. Pellerin leads the rush with Valamon. Here's the shot. Step deeper rebound. Oh, Valamon had an open net, but he couldn't quite tip it by him. Pellerin shoots. Oh, Draper, a left pad save and a beauty. Puck goes back in behind the net. And here is next off. Best action we've seen here in the third period. Now Curtis Hunt at center ice. He'll turn to the right side. Check by John Young, but he got the puck in there. Oh, Carl Valamon wished he had another half-inch on the tip of his blade. If he does, it's a 5-2 hockey game. Right now it remains 4-2. Puck goes down the ice, and there's Troy Gamble to cover up. He'll hold on with 9:25 to play in this third period. The Aeros on top by a score of 4-2.
And when number 28 Brian Pellerin came off to the ice, he got high fives and he got shots on the back of his shoulder from his teammates and from the coach. That was excellent hockey. He took 3 big checks. He dug the puck out. He made some excellent passes and almost got an assist. Tom Draper, who relieved Dirksen midway through the second period. Oh! Gets the shot, the rebound, and Valamon just wishes, as you said, just had a half-inch more on that blade.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. And Clayton Young now to take the draw against John Young. Drop of the puck. Aeros win it. Now it's Curtis Hunt. Inside for Mike Maurice. He's pinned along the boards with the line not out. Miller held it in. Chris Miller, that is, for Danny Shank. Rolled it right in. Young stuff shot. Gamble, I think, a piece of it. Back in behind the net. Here is John Young. Cuts out, sends the puck into the slot. Chris Miller a drive. That's deflected away. And the Aeros come to center ice 3-on-2. Here comes Maurice with Townsend and Young. Townsend across the line. Makes the move around Brad Miller. Townsend now trying to flip it for Clayton Young. That's tipped away by Tom Draper. So the 3-on-2 staggered there, and the Moose now have got it. Corvo tipped the puck to center ice. Now it is Clayton Young. Shoots the puck in, and Miller sends it ahead. I don't know why that's not a hand pass, but I guess not. Now Shargorodsky Shagarodski at center. Booms a drive. And that's right on. Great for the save. And then Miller went right in after Shagarodski to introduce him to a big shoulder check. Puck shot by Ivan Corvo. Down the ice it'll go. But there's Steve Jakes to gather in the puck. He'll turn up ice. Steve Jakes lead pass center ice for Townsend. Tipped the puck ahead for Hackborn. Intercepted Kolstad. Now Yo worked it back into the Minnesota zone for Hine. Out to center. It got through Tippett, but down the ice it goes. This is icing as Jakes goes back to touch it, and play is whistled down with 8:11 to go in the third. Aeros lead at 4-2. We'll have more Houston Aeros action from the Summit when we return.
It's time for friends to fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
And people are friendlier than ever. Just make reservations at least a day in advance and buy your round-trip ticket at Southwest's regular low unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you, free, anywhere we fly.
Joe! Dad, what do you think?
Friends fly free on Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Some players set records. Others will break them. Doubles and triples. Down the line or into the stands. The hits just keep on coming. Jeff Bagwell. This is Star Power.
Astros baseball. Star Power.
The Astros salute first baseman Jeff Bagwell, the 1994 National League Most Valuable Player.
8:11 to go here in the third period in a 4-2 hockey game.
Crowd of 10,625. The Aeros averaging almost 11,000 fans per night.
Now off the face-off, Mike Yo rolled the puck into the corner. Hackborn's got it base of the left circle, looking for Tippett. Jammed out now, a chance. Kolstad flipped it for Sissons. It came to center. Aeros are back on it. Here's Steve Jakes working ahead. It goes into Minnesota territory. Here is Dean Kolstad. Pair of goals tonight for the Moose. Oh. Looking behind him. Someone got my wallet. There it is. He's got the puck, and he'll play it over to the left side as Dave Christian now worked it out to center. It can happen. The puck kind of falling you like a magnet, not where you want it. Here's Jakes now. He'll turn it up the right side. Get it to Mike Yo. Pass ahead for Hackborn. Hits the line. Circled back. Nice play. Here is Jakes. Cuts in. Wait, shoots. Went far side, but missed the net. Now it is Christian. He'll turn it for the Moose. Get it to center. Sissons sends it back to Christian. Long pass goes in. Speared down by Gamble. There's Jakes to roll it. It'll get to the line and out to center ice. 7:15 to go here in the third, and a 4-2 hockey game. The Aeros lead it. Along the near side now, it's Oleg Shagarodski. Up the left wing, Shagarodski shoots the puck into Minnesota territory. Picked up by Sean Williams at his own blue line. Pass to center ice for Moran. Rolled off his stick, and it's taken by Grant. He's had a solid game tonight for the Aeros. Grant near side. Jumps on it left side. Bang the puck ahead for Freer. Can't find the handle, and back is Larry Olam. Now it is Scott Arniel along the boards. Arniel centered that pass, but Hawkins is there. It'll come to the line. Out to center for Moran. Lead pass picked up. Hawkins hits the line. Rated on goal. He'll center the pass, but it goes behind Williams. Now Larry Olam base the right circle. Picking up the keep out at Britton. Gamble dives on that, and he will cover up and hold on. 6:34 to go here in the third period, and the Aeros leading this hockey game by a score of 4-2.
Adam, I do my homework by listening to you when the team is on the road, and you've called it. When this team left, went up to Minnesota, the way that the defense has been playing, and Terry's been going with a rotation of 5 guys rather than going with a 6 to 7, which he had earlier. There seems to be more communication. And Adam, from what I have seen, the defense has done a terrific job, not just in getting the puck out of our end, not just in stopping the puck, but in helping lead the rush up ice.
Terry Ruskowski, head coach of the Aeros, talking to one of his co-coaches or assistant coaches, Scotty Arniel, telling him what he wants. And Scott Arniel still needs that 1 assist for 100 in his career in the IHL.
Clayton Young, look for him to get his stick down just a second late and follow through.
Here's the draw. Now picked up Kevin Grant, and he's pushed off the puck by Ivan Corvo. Now Corvo far corner, worked on by Clayton Young, but back in behind the net, John Young playing peekaboos. He centered the pass. He was kind of looking around. Finally, the line. Hackstall the drive. Deflected wide by Young. Got that stick upstairs and just deflected it wide. Now Young again left side. Hit the referee, Denny LaRue. Now into the corner. It's picked up by the Aeros, and here is Curtis Hunt. Along the left side for Maurice. Tipped the puck in. Here's a chance for Townsend, but Miller is in there to pick up the loose puck. Get it to center ice. Now it's John Young. Young across the line. Snapped it back. It's held in by Chris Miller, but Clayton Young is there to snap it back back to center ice. Under 6 minutes to go in the third, and a 4-2 Aero lead. Here is Dave Tippett now, left side. He'll hit the line, trying to move away from the check of Hackstall. Picked up by Miller. Chris Miller get it to center. It came right back into the zone, and Shank able to clear it. Puck goes down into Minnesota territory. Draper out of the net, and here is Dave Hackstall with 5.5 to go in the third period, and the Aeros with a 2-blot lead. Hackstall, center ice pass, picked up by Christian, trying to bang one ahead. That's jumped on by Valamont. Aeros turn around. They caught the D, changing. Hackward right in, shoots, deep save, and the rebound is cleared by Deanie Kolstad, and the puck comes to center ice. Here's Humanuk across the line, looking for Actionum. Centered that. Nobody there for the Moose. Now on the right side, Sissons trying to cut it down for Actionum. He's in the right circle, back for Sissons. Spun off the puck. Valamont giving him the how do you do into the corner. Now they go out and skate the skate in there, and it's fished out and skates. Still back in the scrum though with 4:53 left. Puck to the far boards, and Wallmaker out of the near corner. It's centered. Sissons, who lost his stick, I think is going to get a penalty on the drawn on one of the Aeros, and we'll get a Minnesota power play here, as it looks like it is going to be, is it holding? Yeah, holding the opponent's stick. And while they sort it out, let's take time out. 4:43 to go here in the third period. Do not go away. It's a good one. 4-2 Aeros. We'll be right back.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Attention all Aggie fans. Relive the greatest moments in Texas A&M football history with Aggies, a century of football tradition. Follow the incredible journey of the tradition-rich A&M football program. The 12th man, legendary coach Dana X. Bible, Heisman Trophy winner John David Crow, and more. The whole story of Texas A&M football at your fingertips. Call 1-800-769-8843 to order this once-in-a-lifetime publication right now. Gig 'em, Aggies!
2 minutes up on the board to Carl Valamont, and he'll sit in there, and he's going to get nailed for the holding minor right here as he got the hook in there. And he was working Sissons pretty good. This isn't really the penalty they called. It's a little bit after this where Sissons kind of moved away and Valamont pulled his stick away. This is not it right here. This is a little earlier before. Play went on for quite a bit there, but regardless, Valamont had knocked the stick out of the hands and they called holding, and now the Aeros short-handed for 2 minutes.
Was that hockey or Australian rules football? That scrum along the boards.
Well, whatever it was, it results in a power play for Minnesota. Now we'll go with Moran, Corvo, and Young with Humanuk and Christian. Or excuse me, not Christian. I knew that. Linesmen don't like the way they line up, and they'll try her again. Arniel is going to be called in now. Try and win this face-off against Stefan Moran. It's Arniel and Freer with Kevin Grant and Curtis Hunt. Well, no, now Arniel's tossed out of the circle. So Kevin Grant, let's see if he can win his first career face-off. Bouncing puck. No, couldn't quite do it. Here's Moran now, left side. Puck comes in behind the net. Gamble knocked it down. Curtis Hunt jammed it along the boards. Humanuk loaded on by Freer. This has, I think, been one of the best games Mark Freer has played from a physical standpoint, I think. Now it is Curtis Hunt up the right side. It's shot to center, but now Corvo trying to play the puck, but Kevin Grant is there, and we're going to get an offsides call, and the face-off will be brought back to center outside the Aerozone with 4:21 left in this third period. 1:39 left in the Valamont minor, and the Aeros lead it by a score of 4-2.
They tried to nail Kevin Grant. His helmet came off, and he just put the shoulder into Dave Christian from the 1980 Olympic hockey team, one of 8 residents of the state of Minnesota who played for the Minnesota Moose.
Face off at center. Freer and Arniel again with Grant and Hunt. Drop the puck, and the Moose win the draw. Here is Christian, shoots the puck into Aero territory. Back is Curtis Hunt. He'll slice that puck all the way down the ice. And out of the net, it's Tom Draper. Here is Dave Christian now in behind his net. Send a pass up the left side. Humanuk cuts at center. Humanuk carries the puck, and he'll bring it over for John Young. His pass, nearly intercepted by Arniel. Hopped over a stick as the puck is centered. Loose in the slot. Bang away at it. Gamble. And to reach over to his right side and come up with a nice save. And the Aeros able to get it down the ice. 1:05 left in the Valamont Minor. 3:45 to go here in the third. And a 4-2 Aero lead. Dave Christian now comes to center for Larry Olam. Blasts the puck in Aero territory. Gamble knocked it down. Shagaransky trying to play the puck away. Hand off the puck by Shank. Picked up by Mario Chitteroni. And he will turn and chip that down the ice. Again, no icing because the Aeros are short-handed here. 42 seconds left in the Valamont Minor. And 3:21 left in the third. 4-2 Aeros. Here come the Minnesota Moose. Pass at center ice. Sean Williams shoots it into Aero territory. Picked up along the corner by Larry Olam. Trying to work it through the Shagaransky. And as he's jammed into the corner. Now it is picked up by Hawkins. Gets it to Williams. Williams back to the line. Shank. Long shot high and wide. Here's Chitteroni. Can't clear. Puck comes in front. That hit a leg. Gibble puck behind there. And he was solved out like he had a metal detector in the middle of an airport trying to find something, and he found a puck luckily behind him. Now Shagaransky is talking with Daniel Shank. And I'll tell you what, Shagaransky, who didn't have as good an introduction to the world of fighting with Jim Kite back in Las Vegas, I think wouldn't mind having a little crack at Danny Shank.
He'd like to take a shot at him, especially playing on the home ice, and Clayton Young came right in. I do not know how in the world, as we can take a look at our replay from down below, that puck did not go behind Troy Gamble.
It was deflected along, and the way it gets behind Gamble, he had it, and then, well, I see what he did. He kind of turtled on top of it, and he looks like, actually, when you look at the replay from that angle, Barry, it looks like he was more in control there than we may have first thought there.
Once again, the guys down in the truck, Murphy Brown, Mike Anastasio, and our HSC crew providing us with the pictures, as they'll be doing once again on Wednesday night when Russ Small joins you back up here in the broadcast booth. I'll put the Penguin suit on, go out and do some features. And we, once again, if you folks have not seen live hockey, come on out. The price is right. You're going to see great entertainment when Las Vegas with Radek Bunk and with Alexei Vashin come to town. Quint Malarchuk, the Cowboy, and Pokey Reddick, and a cast of thousands.
Yeah, and boy, you're not kidding when you say a cast of thousands. Bob Strum, the head coach and general manager, has wasted no time. He says, hey, and Hank Stickney, the owners of the club, say, hey, we got deep pockets. Let's go for the talent. And they have got it. They have got a very talented hockey club, yes. But have they beaten the Aeros yet this year? No, not yet. Aeros have a 2-0 advantage, both of those, in Las Vegas. That's coming up Wednesday. Here's a long shot by Humanuk, blocked by Tippett. Another shot. Redirected wide. Now the puck in behind the net as we're down to 2:40 left. Penalty over. Teams at 5 aside. Tippett jammed in there by Corriveau. Tippett trying to work it free. It comes to the near side for Hackborn. Now work back. Corriveau trying to get it along the boards, but Tippett there intercepted his pass. Worked away by Christian. Now here's a chance for Hackborn. He's in alone. Hackborn right in. Shoots. Draper closes the pads and makes a great save. Now the puck at center. Off the stick of Moran. Lenny Hackborn with an outstanding opportunity. Now Mike Yeo going at it a little bit. He's going to drop the mitts and go with Humanuk. So Mike Yeo was knocked off down to the ice, but no punches really thrown. But Yeo got it high. This is a guy that got battered in Atlanta on Friday. Still came back after getting a high stick from Alan Peterson. And then Humanuk wanted to take another swing at Yeo, and luckily he doesn't get more than what he's going to get here in his 5-minute fighting major. But Mike Yeo has made it quite clear, as a 21-year-old, he will back down from no one. And he will go to the penalty box.
Yo, the rookie last year played at Sudbury. When I got out of the car in the parking lot, I took one look at him. I said, what'd you do, go 15 with Evander Holyfield who lived in Atlanta?
Well, with 2:09 left in this hockey game, he's done for the night. Not a happy camper. Tell you what, though, new line combination for him playing with Tippett and Hackborn, and I think he played pretty well. As see how this thing started. And Yo just getting into it, and you can see how...
Now, that was a situation where Yo was simply defending himself. As Humanuk came up with the gloves up high, and Yo had no alternative but to drop those gloves and go right after him.
So the linesmen will get in there, and 5-minute majors each for fighting. Scott Humanuk in only his second game back after an injury, and And he is somebody that Frank Serratore has spoken very highly of as far as he can't wait to get back, and only his second game. Good to see him. Humana got an extra 2, and that means the Aeros will pretty much finish this game on the power play here. We've got 2:09 left in the third. Aeros lead at 4-2, and the Aeros with 2:09 left in the period.
Aeros with 2 goals on the power play, and they killed off 6 penalties. And we said at the beginning of the game, one of the keys was the specialty teams, and they've done a phenomenal job tonight.
You know, we look at the Oshman's game plan once again. You know, you talk about stamina. Well, outstanding game. I think both teams have been pretty solid in the stamina department. We talked about composure, and the Aeros were very composed tonight. When the Moose would throw in their forecheck, the Aeros had no trouble with their breakout, I felt, tonight. And then finally we talked about the specialty team. You just did right there, Barry. The specialty team's definitely there with a pair of power play goals. The Moose without a power play goal tonight. And quite frankly, you give them an A for the Oshman's game plan.
Great job tonight by the Aeros, who now find themselves 2 minutes and 9 seconds away from starting another winning streak.
Face off in the Moose zone, and now the puck goes into the far corner for Hackstall. He's bumped by Mario Chitteroni. They go at it, skate to skate. Puck throws along the boards. Trying to get it out of there is Arniel. He'll pry it away from the wall, looking for Chitteroni. He just goes in there with absolutely all he can give. Here is Scott Arniel now, right side. Worked it down for Freer. Back for Arniel. Scott Arniel now getting set for Valamont. Top of the slot. Line. Shoots. Score!
Taking his time and feathering the pass cross ice to Carl Valamont, and Valamont let that one-timer go, and the man who scored picked up 3 points the other night in Minnesota. Chagorowski with the puck to his roommate Carl Valamont, who just lets her rip, and there by the open net is Chitteroni, who lights it up.
Arniel is the one that starts it back to Valamont. Arniel and Valamont are going to get the assist here, and all Chitteroni does is just keep it down. Now the Aeros lead at 5-2, and this baby is history. 1:36 left in the hockey game. Aeros with a 3-goal lead at 5-2. Here's Atchison now. Roll the puck ahead to Larry Olam. Shoots it into Aero territory. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. Jakes goes back down behind his net. Jakes sends it up for Townsend. Bumped it through Kolstad. It goes back into Aero territory with 1:20 left in this hockey game. 5-2, the Aeros. And a pass that squirts out to the far side. Townsend can't clear it now. Kolstad, long shot block. It comes to center. Here is Chris Miller now, left side. Worked it into Aero territory. That is jumped on by Jakes. Worked it ahead for Maurice as he hits the line. Mike Maurice, left side, trying to move in there. He's bumped by Chris Miller. Now Kolstad in the corner going in there. And it's worked along the near side. Maurice trying to pop it free. And Maurice in a pretty good tussle there with Chris Miller. Jammed into the corner for Townsend. Here, Hackborn to drive that, hit his skate. And with 42 seconds left, the Moose unable to clear it. Here's Hackborn, top of the slot, rolled it down. Maurice, backhander, and Draper got a shoulder on that. Now it is a drive by Goslin that finds its way to the stick of Draper. Another pass centered. The Aeros not giving up at all here. They're coming right back. Grant a drive. That's turned around. Grant again, right side, popped away by Olam. And here come the Moose to center. Larry Olam, pass for Corvo. He overskates it, and the Aeros turn it around. Here come the Aeros. Goslin snaps one. Hackborn pulls up and rolled it in behind the net with 12 seconds left. 5-2 Aeros are going to win this hockey game. Now Hines and Pellerin joust and spear a bit here. Atchison at center, and with 2 seconds left, buzzer sounds, and the Aeros have won their 3rd in 4 nights. What a weekend. 3-1 the Aeros go, and they defeat the Minnesota Moose by a score of 5-2, and everybody down congratulating Troy Gamble. Terry Wiskowski very happy with the way his team played, I'm sure. And to come back with the 3rd game in 3 nights, what an effort by the boys, Barry.
A great job tonight by the Aeros, who did it with excellent passing, great teamwork, and a defense that really helped with the rushes. Not just defensively, but getting that puck out and starting those rushes.
Time for the Southwest Airlines play of the game, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And what a play here is it's Arniel going to Valamont, the last goal and made it 5-2. Vallemont just winds and then realizes he's got Chitteroni on the doorstep. Boom! Right into the net. And the funny thing was, this was something they were working on together in Atlanta, working the deflections. Vallemont would kind of one-time it from the slot or to the top there, and then it would be somebody like a Yo or a Chitteroni, whatever, there to deflect it, and it worked to perfection, and the Aeros go on to win at 5-2. We'll have more from the Summit after this on the Aeros Broadcasting Network.
Today's Houston Aeros broadcast has been brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare together. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When you're thirsty, it's gotta be Gatorade.
Welcome back to the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. 5-2. The Aeros defeat the Minnesota Moose and are now winners of 3 of their last 4. And let's take a look at the third period scoring summary brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. And it was just 1 goal. And it was Mario Chitteroni picking up the tally from Carl Vallemont and Scott Arniel. It was a power play goal, by the way. So 3 power play goals tonight for the Houston Aeros at 18-18. And once again, I know we talked about it, Barry, the power play and the specialty teams definitely came up big when it needed to, and that's why the Aeros pick up the win tonight.
They kill off 6 penalty plays. They come up with 2 power play goals, 3 power play goals, and walk out here right now enjoying the holiday, as you said, winning 3 out of 4 games.
And didn't some guy by the name of Gamble play tonight?
Yeah, some guy named Troy
Kind of
Gamble.
forget about
He
him.
wasn't the starter, though, because history will show in the record books that Rob Dobson was the starter.
Yeah, Robbie Dobson, just to quickly reiterate, had to start the game because of a mishap on the score sheet. But let's look ahead here at the Pasta Company final stats brought to you by the Pasta Company restaurant. And there you go. Shots on goal. Minnesota Moose out shooting the Houston Aeros 32-24. So there's Troy Gamble making 30 of 32 saves. And Tom Draper and Dwayne Dirksen combined for 19 saves on 24 shots on goal. Power plays. The Moose go 0 for 4 on the power play. The Houston Aeros 3 of 6. Penalties 9 for 27 minutes. The Aeros 7 of 17. Barry, thanks for your help tonight.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
All right, good game tonight. The Houston Aeros defeat the Minnesota Moose, and the Aeros now quickly jump to 9-11-2 with 20 points and are ahead of the Kansas City Blades for the 3rd spot in the center, while the Moose slip to 5-12-4. Our next HSC Aeros Network game will be Wednesday night at 7 o'clock when the Houston Aeros host the Las Vegas Thunder. Once again, the final score tonight from the Summit, the Houston Aeros 5, the Minnesota Moose 2. For Barry Warner, this is Adam Gordon saying good night from the Summit.